Yorkshire pudding up there as well.
Oh, yeah. I was thinking, how are we in? I was thinking, where's mine?
I come in here like and see grip as a surfboard and a Yorkshire pudding, and I'm like, where's this going? Like,
Madeline's behind you.
It's a gift.
Send it in, Ella.
Cheers, mate. That's what I always wanted. Like,
Yeah.
I ain't got the calories to eat it right now because I'm dieting. But
How many calories you on?
2, 3 a the minute.
Okay.
It's low for me, that is. Like Gandhi's younger brother the minute.
Is it?
Wasting away. Are we on, are we?
I think so. Yeah, well. Yeah, I think so.
I feel like a
Happy?
Yeah, I sound.
You are?
I'm nervous, but I don't know what's coming next. Like,
Yeah.
I was hoping for a brief for questions, but...
Yeah, just have a chat. Like, we've just been talking about jiu-jitsu now before we come in.
Yeah.
All right,
Been
yeah.
catching up on training. I haven't been training for about a month. Like,
Yeah, why have you got so long off?
I was rolling with Scott and something pinged in my arm that day when I went early from.
Oh,
Vitality.
yeah.
And I had to play for 4 hours that day. Then I had a wedding 2 days after. That was another long one. And the week after that, and I was teaching in between. So all playing guitar, it just fucking aggravated her. Like,
Was that when the hand, you had it all strapped in your
yeah.
video?
So my wrist is still. Is that extension or flexion?
Extension, flag. Yeah, extension.
Yeah. So like when it gets to about that point, it hurts. And yeah, obviously I can't push anything like press ups hurt. So I just got to be careful with it.
Can you grip?
Yeah, it's fine. It's there. It's back now, but there's no pain. It just feels like it was slow. It's like resistance there. It doesn't feel
Like
like
no power there, is there?
Yeah, I don't know. I think the power was there. Like yesterday was my first gi back, like first gi training back. I was gripping like fuck. It was fine. There wasn't any problem. I was kind of being aware of it, and I was like. Wasn't as soon as he'd rip the grip, I would let go.
Yeah,
Like,
I've learned from my
grips.
finger expert not to keep hold of grips.
Yeah,
my finger at a right angle in that competition last year was not.
Is it?
Yeah,
Well,
I had like a grip on a sleeve, and because I thought I was mute and strong, and I thought this guy's the same weight as me, but I know I'm stronger than him. He pulled and I pulled, and I thought, I'll win this one. Shit. My finger decided to go the other way, and then I heard it click, and I looked at it, and it was like walking our way, and I did like a Booker T, you can't see me thing. Yeah.
God, that footage somewhere. Put up
So I got a finger blown off, my bicep ruptured. I done my hamstring last week, but that was from weights. You've done a rib and forearm.
Yeah, intercostal muscle.
Yeah. Anything else?
No, I don't think so.
Have you got any yet?
I've got my shoulders really aching. I've been doing it for 4 weeks now, and they just if I just lift my arm up a little bit, there's pain there, like, to me. But
Did it go during or?
No, I think to be honest with you, I think it started. But I started yoga first, right? And I think it's from doing the downward facing dog, right? I've been a driving instructor for ages now, just sitting down and going into kind of this kind of.
So the non-aggressive sports are the ones that's wrecked your shoulder.
Yeah.
And we're all now north of 30, and we're all just falling to bits. Like,
I know.
And I just think, as much as I enjoy jits, the bit that is putting me off is I keep picking up knocks all the time. Like, Kyrie's still bad from when he turned his back.
Yeah.
And that's, 7 weeks ago?
They told him to like keep training. That was his hip though, wasn't it? It's a different thing.
Yeah, I think his hip or his groin has been bad, but I seen him last night, the night before, and he said, his back's still not right 7 or 8 weeks later. Like,
So there's lots that can go wrong, innit?
So from what I understand, the body doesn't like rotation and doesn't like dynamic movement or people falling on you.
Yeah.
And that is the 3 pillars of jiu-jitsu pretty much. So far what I've learned is that I thought I was quite injury adverse.
Yeah.
And I ended up like Stephen Hawking within the first year of going like... I think I had 6 months off in my first year.
Yeah.
It was 3 months for my finger, then 3 months for my bicep. You've had a good run, haven't you?
Yeah. Well, the first day in big boy class.
Yeah.
When I blasted my intercostal muscle. And
Who did that?
Hursty.
Right,
I think it was Hursty. Well, he guillotined me as well. So like that roll just annihilated me. Do you know what I mean? But it was like, it was, the last beeps of the round. It's like, boop, boop, and it's him to the end. Everyone else I rode with that day, you can let up on the beeps. I let up and he just fucking ripped it on through my throat. I couldn't speak. I was sore throat for ages. I've been guillotined since. I think something's toughened up there. Like,
is it?
Yeah, but my throat was fucked. And then at the end of it, I remember sitting in the corner, like sitting on the edge of the mats, watching everyone. I had my arms like in between my legs, just fucking like that, trying not to shake. Like, just fucking something. I knew something bad had happened. I just like hobbled out, and it was horrendous. Like I had to sleep with a pillow hugged into me like all the time
to protect it. Like
it was 6 weeks off for that one, and for months after he was there, I had to like. It's
guard
like
it, like
it changed the way that I was rolling. I think it gave me bad habits. That's why I didn't want to come back too early with this and like not grip properly or hide it or do weird shit. Like I have to come back when I can. But it's like because I'm playing guitar constantly, it's always just been aggravated.
Yeah.
And I bought Dan Strauss's grip book.
Oh yeah, I saw you pick that. Any good?
Yeah, it's really good. Yeah, I haven't done everything in it because of this. I don't want to do just one hand. Do you know what I mean?
He does like the hammer stuff and that, doesn't he, as well?
Yeah, like every movement. I know there's a name for each one. You like that way, and fucking twisting and everything basically. But he said it's quite a complex change. So any problems like in the hand, sometimes it's the elbow. Do you know what I mean? A muscle imbalance.
Yeah, you get someone in like Supple Leopard, there's a book wrote years ago, and he talks about most injuries are upstream or downstream of where the pain is. You then got to eliminate where it's potentially coming from, and that can take forever and a day. Like, so you are just trial and error to find out where it's giving you grief.
Yeah, I've been doing like muscle rolling and all that, like really hard, but I don't know whether it's doing it. I've been doing it for like a couple of weeks now. It's like
I think the problem you're going to have is that your strumming hand?
Fretting, fingering.
Yeah. If it's something, thing is, you've probably got like a minor tear there, but because you can't leave it alone, it keeps re-annoying itself and re-ingraining. So, and you're not going to stop playing guitar anytime soon, are you?
No, I know. That's what I thought. I guess it's manageable, and I was fine in the gi yesterday. Are you going to the grading Thursday?
No, I'm working. Like I said, one of the boys asked me, am I going? But like Monday to Fridays are right off me.
I know.
And that's one of the things. Like I know, like you've moved guys around, the but I just refuse to move people around. And I was like hoping they'd put more classes on, and they're not. And I'm like, I'm not fucking doing it. But now I only ever go on Saturdays. I haven't been on Saturdays for a while because I'm training to go away for my mate's wedding. I just don't fancy being a cripple for a bit. So I like to roll with people that I trust. So I do like one with Will when I can. And then I'm going to start Sundays back up probably next week with you lot on Sunday morning.
Yeah, I got a good run now. A couple of weekends. I've got one gig. So yeah, fuck all else.
Because I've got to be careful what I say. I just don't trust some people in nails not to ram shit on.
Oh yeah, no, we were talking about that before.
Like that Polish dude. The little Polish guy that only rolls at 99.9%. And if he's putting it on, he's putting it on. Like
I haven't rolled with him still.
He's got a hell of a grip strength on him. But like, when he had caught on me, right? I was moving around him, but I just couldn't get his hand off me.
Yeah.
And like, I'm not weak, and I was like, what is this dude made of? Like,
yeah. He looks like that. He looks.
Do you know, like a few weeks back, like Scott was like, he said, I'll have a roll with him. Like, yeah, okay, get innocent, innit? Jesus Christ. we tapped hands or whatever, and next thing I just got fucking I mean a guillotine. Like I was just thinking, what are you doing? Like,
some people got no chill of it.
Yeah.
No, I know.
And like, I don't mind
my third session. Like,
I don't mind the strangles. It's the arms and stuff. And I've definitely got PTSD from doing my arm. Like any extension of that now, I'm like, yep, nope. And the leg stuff, I haven't got a clue what I'm doing. When somebody grabs my foot, I just go,
Yeah.
I don't even know why. I know I'm supposed to defend it, but I'd rather just tap before he snaps. So I keep seeing videos on Instagram. I must have watched one where he's got like a bat and he like snaps the bat. They're like tap, don't snap. And now all I get on my feed is like people limbs snapping like legs. Like
one popped up earlier on. Someone had someone in a reverse triangle, and his arm was poking up. He just fucking put his arm across his leg and just snapped it down.
Did he go out as he snapped it?
Yeah, he was already out.
Because he couldn't tap because he was unconscious.
Yeah, and the ref
have you seen it? The ref didn't see it.
Yeah, it's tagged like the worst ref ever, apparently. He's just fucking this unconscious bloke getting his arm fucking broken.
Because the guy can't see that he's gone.
No,
he's like behind, and his arms like at a right angle.
See, that's what terrifies me. Like, do you mean it does?
Well, when Matthew did it to me, it was a complete freak accident. Matthew put it on, he wouldn't have rammed it on, but like I escaped out to the side, and all I felt was my bicep like a t-shirt ripping. You know, like when you skag a t-shirt. I thought, that didn't sound right. And then I looked, and it was just like balled up. I was like, either I've got really jacked really quick, or that's hanging on by a thread.
What a phantom jack.
And I was like, it's hanging on by a thread. And I don't mind being choked. It's like in that sort of it's the arms are freaking me out.
It's like what I'm finding so far is like the chokes is like more gradual, whereas like if someone gets an armbar, they just go bang.
Yeah.
Do you mean? I'm just like fuck that.
And from what Will and Adam said, like it's the legs are even quicker again, and they say there's no like with an arm, it's like that hurts. Apparently with a leg, it just.
Well, that's another thing. Yeah, my ankle went with Will, didn't it?
Oh yeah.
I went into a fucking toe hold shootout with a brown belt. Just fucking, but I was more.
That's a great name of a song, that is.
I was conscious of it. I think I've never been here. Trust Will. It was fine. Right. I thought I'll start putting it on more. All of a sudden, my foot just fucking goes bang.
Because didn't Will ask you, "Are you all right?"
He took his hand off straight away,
and then he was like, "You were like, yeah," and he went back to it, and then he went bang, and you were like, "Ah!" But we all jumped more than Scott did. I was like, "Ah!"
Yeah, I didn't feel pain. Like there's no pain. There's no. There's tension. It felt like it was basically, when you roll over, you go over the side of your foot, like twist an ankle. It's like that. You just kind of simulate. You're just forcing that same movement.
Yeah.
But it's just slow, like. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, the next couple of days it was just dodgy, and I just swole up a little bit. It wasn't bad, like. But,
yeah.
But,
I don't know. It freaks me out, like feet and knees.
I don't mind my feet. I can explode I can live without my legs, to be honest.
I think that's a loosely used term that I think you're lying about. I can't wait to see him in a wedding in a full leg cast trying to play, just walking him. So like they walk him in like a compass, just like one leg at a time.
Yeah, well, I can hands. I cannot, like, I'm not.
I suppose this is your trade.
Yeah.
Like, I won't lie, arm in a strap trying to PT for a while was interesting. Trying to move discs with one arm was a laugh. Especially when it's 25. And ironically, the arm where this blew off was the opposite to the bad hand, so I can't even grip with this hand anymore. So it's like full blue bad shoulder. Yeah. Shit. Yeah, grim.
What freaks me out is like I was about 2 weeks ago, I done a gi class, right? And like Gaz was using Lloyd, like, and like Lloyd was he would slam, instead of like tapping Gaz, he'd slap the mat, like, and I'd never been to a class, like, and he just slapped the mat, and I just went, oh, I thought it was a snap, right? But it happened, what was that? Yeah, 3 times. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know why Lloyd does it.
Is it?
I was in a class before, and they were doing something. Oh, I know, head and arm choke.
Right.
You answer the phone to stop it, like.
Yeah.
But whoever was doing the class kind of said, "Oh, there is a submission here. We're not going to do it though because it's too dangerous." And you weave your hand in you, and he didn't put it on, but you just heard a massive crunch in his shoulder, like in Lloyd, half yard shoulder.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know, fucking hell. And you're like, you can see his face. Like when like Norm as well. Like if they are being the person showing, do you know what I mean? Like doing it to it. You can see him in their eyes, like, oh, fuck, getting ready to tap. Like.
Because like, how did you pair decide on jits? What led you to jits, and then like kind of you, and like what's the story? I have no idea.
I just wanted to. It was last year. I don't know. I have no idea what it is. I saw the beginner course pop up on Instagram, and I didn't know they'd done. You were on the one earlier than me, and I saw it pop up. I thought, I'll give it a go. Beginner's course, 6 weeks. If I don't like it in that time, I haven't committed too much to it, and that's a good amount of time to decide it was good. If I just went once and didn't like it, I might fuck it off and think it's shit without giving it a chance. Like, so at least for the 6 weeks, I did it. That's basically the only reason. And I wanted to do some sort of skill based thing where everything I saw is more. It's all nerds doing it, innit? You know what I mean? Proper geeks.
Nothing in between, like.
Yeah. So. Yeah, that's why.
What was your hobby before? Would you class like guitar as your main hobby before you decided jits?
I don't know. It's work, innit? Do you know what I mean? Like when your hobby becomes work, it's not your hobby anymore.
Because I think that's why I went to jits a bit more. Is I felt like I'd done a lot of what I could do with training wise, and I was like, I need something different. I'm getting a bit older. I'm stagnating.
Right.
And I went to it, and I really enjoy it, but it's massively humbling.
Yeah.
Massively. When you expect to go in, I thought, I'm relatively athletic. I train quite a lot. I've been about, like, it does not translate to jiu-jitsu. Not at all. No. It's like reading English and then trying to read Braille. It's not the same horse. Like,
yeah.
What led you to it?
Scott's been talking about it for a while. Like, I mean, since we've been doing the podcast and stuff. But I lost my head a little bit the other day with my mother, like, and
real naked in the kitchen.
She's dead now.
Screaming tap now.
Yeah. No, it's like she says something on the phone and pissed me off, and then I just like lost my head a bit in the house, or whatever. And I told Scott, like, and he's like, "Oh, you should come, just do, like," he said, it might kind of mellow out a little bit, and
tame the beast.
Yeah.
Do you feel it's like a mental health escape sort of thing? Like, or a clearing of the mind? Like,
yeah, definitely.
I definitely feel more clear of mind when I'm being strangled.
Yeah.
I'm not thinking about anything else. I'm present in the moment, I think.
Yeah, you can't think of anything else.
No.
You just trying to like get them off you, like, you know, or get on top.
Because like that Sunday club, like I am useless again up in the morning, full stop. Unless somebody paying me, I'm not getting out of bed. I sleep. But when I get down there on a Sunday with the boys, there's 5 or 6 of us, and like when we had that good run of like 2 months or whatever, it was greasing the groove. It was a good laugh. You're minging after it. We'll have like a protein shake and a chill after, and then go on back to our normal lives. Like,
those protein shakes are banging.
It's like it's an interesting, I think, just tune out for an hour, and I don't think enough of us sounds like it's a buzzword at the minute, but I think not enough people tune out of like social media and all the other stuff. And I think you spoke about it a lot, like how much you despise social media.
I go in and out of phases still. I mean, I have a run of making content and chucking it all up and doing it for about a week, and then that's it then for another 3 weeks.
I'm lucky. A lot of my social stuff is just like before and afters. Like I refuse to engage in the talking to camera stuff that some people do. It's just not me.
Is it?
I'm a gobshite in person, let alone on a camera, so I don't really need that. And I find that my marketing like kind of does it itself. So like I will find myself browsing, and like the other night I was with Tina and I was like, I've been on Reels for 45 minutes. I'm spoke to my other half. And it's so easy to get pulled into it. Like, and I hadn't seen you for years, and you came up on mine doing those videos you've been doing. I thought, oh, these are class. And I was like watching your stuff, but like I haven't got the mind to create stuff like that. I'm like, I think I'm ones and zeros, like, whereas some people are more creative, and like obviously you two are more musicians.
I find a way to be creative with anything. I enjoy that shit really. But
I like a system.
I
like a numbers-based approach, and that's what freaks me out about Jits is there's no hierarchy of learning really. They say there's a base, but the base is enormous. Like I suppose when you guys are learning, I'm going to simplify this, but like say with guitar, you learn chords, and you know there's a progression route that seems linear to me. Looking from the outside in. Going into jiu-jitsu, there's no linear.
100%.
I can't see any linear anyway.
The way I think of it is like, I can simplify it in my brain in positions. So like we mentioned it briefly earlier on, but like when you first start, say on your knees, for example, first choice is like choosing if you're playing guard or attacking. But then like how are you going to do it? And if you've got a step for you to, you know, pull guard or whatever, however you're going to do it, or how are you going to get past their guard, like that's the progression for me. So I'm noticing certain positions and certain things where I'm just useless. I can't do anything with. And then I focus on that position then. But it's from the beginning. Have you got
like a flow chart? If this, then that.
Yeah.
Fair.
Yeah, it's fucking, it's on the computer and it's massive.
It's on the kid's bedroom wall.
No, I am a bit
I think if you can break it down, like I haven't sat and broke it into components, but like I get little bits, and like you'll get a week where you're like, oh, this is good. I'm getting somewhere. And then you go the next week, and some guy you've never seen before who looks like he's just put a gi on and it's brand new leather zoo, and you're like, it's not supposed to happen like that anymore.
Yeah, I know.
Who's this guy like?
Yeah, it does happen. I think it happens at every belt. But I think it's more, I heard someone speak about it the other day with the belt system. It's like, it's your personal progression in the environment that you train in. Do you know what I mean? Compared to everyone else. So, you know, like it might take me longer to get to a blue belt, but in the grand scheme of things, you know, I'm getting, I don't know, you don't want to blast through the belt. Like black belt is your maximum potential, basically. Do you know what I mean? So if you reach that in like 4 years, I know you wouldn't, like, but it means like, oh, okay, you've hit that. But you know, if it takes me 15, 20 years to get there, I'm feeling like I'm a better black belt than someone who does
like a slower progression is a better than rushing it. Like,
And like people who say, oh, I got my blue belt in 9 months. It's like, all right, it doesn't mean anything. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
the belts. I think the belts are strange. Like I think I'm a reward based person. Just like ticking shit off, and that's why I would play 9 hours of Call of Duty even as a kid without turning it off, because you get those reward complexes. But trying to step away from that, because like you were saying, like there's no real like gaining speeding it up or slowing it down in jits. It seems like you need to spend that time at the belt, learn your bits that are worth learning, and then maybe, because like you said, some people who rush through the belts, what do they miss on the way? Or are they that good? They're just freaks.
Yeah, I don't know. It's hard, isn't it? It's hard to say.
Do you know, I seen a clip the other day, and it said that like when you get to purple belt, that you can basically take 99% of the world's population on the ground, like, which is nuts, isn't it? Doing
Percy's goal, sacking it off. Head.
I just want to avoid the 1%. Doing like
come in wearing a cape.
And like I don't know about you guys now, like when we're on with the social, you click on a couple of jiu-jitsu reels and then it's all you're getting in it.
Yeah.
It's all the same ones as well. It's all the same kind of big names, isn't it?
Yeah, I've noticed that. Like, I thought there'd be more, but it seems to be a few, like, content creators, like that fucking weird German guy, is it?
Oh, yeah.
What's his name? Have you seen him?
No,
What's his name?
You will see him.
You'll see him. He'll put it on and then he'll go... like some sort of seedy grandfather, like some seedy hard grandfather. He's like, puts it on, and then
he's got tattoos in his face. And
I can't.
They tap, but he does it again.
Yeah, it's a strange one, that. But yeah, he comes up all the time.
Is this on Insta now?
On Insta. There's a couple of different guys, like maybe 4 that I see all the time, and then Dan Ahead doesn't ever come up because Dan Ahead only ever writes up like what's it called, like a massive literature review in every post, like War and Peace underneath. He doesn't do any videos. He'll do a good photo, and then you click on that see more, and like, I'm not reading that.
Yeah, I know. It goes on and on.
And I'm a reader, and I'm like, that's too much for me.
Yeah, you're into reading. What are you reading at the moment?
I'm trying to finish Return of the King.
Oh,
it is murdering me. I
thought you would read that before.
I read The Hobbit as a kid.
Oh, okay.
Went back, watched Lord of the Rings, and like, you know, we were probably the original gangsters of Lord of the Rings. And we go every Christmas on the preview seating, but I would have been year 7, year 8, maybe.
I don't know.
I would have been young, like, and I remember it being really good. And then like I always wanted to read it.
Yeah.
And I'd never committed to it. And then I think earlier on this year, I thought, I'm just going to fucking buy it. And then one of my clients at the time, he'd read like 3/4. He was like, I lost it. I need to read it again. Do you want to start together? So I started it. And I think I did The Hobbit in like 10 days. And The Hobbit, I'll still say, is the best of the 4 books.
Yeah.
It's the easier read. Like, I found The Hobbit flows really well and it's not too broad down. Like, if you get through Fellowship of the Ring, you will get through anything in life.
Is it?
Like Elrond's chapter. I know you've read it. Yeah. In the film, it's like a 2.5 minute clip. It is a 43-page chapter of absolute slow dog shit.
Nothing.
It's nothing. You don't see anything. And it goes on. And like, that was good. I found 2 Towers was a much easier read.
Yeah.
I enjoyed that. That was quite like, obviously, Helm's Deep and that. You fly through that. And then, like, Return of the King. I don't know if I just lost my rhythm, but it seems to have slowed down. And I'm like, just fucking throw the ring in the fire. Like, I've had enough now.
I know.
Stop faffing round.
I was more excited to see Tom Bombadil in the Fellowship of the Ring. He wasn't in there.
Oh, yeah, because obviously, I didn't even know anything about him. And then my client was like, before I started reading, he was like, oh, yeah, Tom Bombadil's a weird fucker. And I'm like, what? It's Tom Bombadil. Have you read it?
No.
I'd advise you to read it.
I've got The Hobbit.
Have you read The Hobbit?
But I always get about 3/4 of the way through and then life just takes over. Like,
I'm doing like 5 to 10 pages a day.
Right.
Like, I have a break where I might not read for a day or two, then I'll do like 30 in one day.
Right.
And it's a tome, innit? It is a bit of a read, like.
Yeah.
Because you've done Dune, haven't you?
Yeah.
My father's done Dune, and he said that is like dense.
It's like political.
That's exactly what my father said. There's so much politics in it that you don't see in the film.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And he said it's worth a read, but
I enjoyed it. It's like, the thing is, the films, it shows you explicitly what you should imagine when you're reading it. There's nothing like the way I imagined it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think it's weird. Like, me reading The Lord of the Rings now, I don't feel like he describes it very well. Like, I don't think he gives a lot of detail. Like, I get they obviously then took it and made it into film, but like, I'm trying to imagine it without watching the films, and like, they had a lot of freelance to do what they did with some of it. Like, I think the descriptions of the uniforms were relatively good, but I think to take it to screen, they then had to like improvise a lot more. But I don't know if that's just me being special needs and not reading it properly. But I felt like Lord of the Rings is good, but it's not as descriptive as I thought. I thought the landscapes he describes really well, but not the like clothing and stuff. And the one bit I will say that was landed about Return of the King is it's like that. And I looked through the other day and I was like, oh, that fuck. Yeah. It's only 320 pages long. There's like a 300-page appendix.
Yeah.
And I'm like, so before I'd read the others, I was like, I'm going to read the appendix. I want to know all the history of Middle-earth. I'm like, get me out of this fucking book.
Yeah. I know. How much time does it take to fucking, conceive something like that?
Well, that's why I really, I think I forced myself to read it a little bit. It's like, I think that Star Wars and Star Trek to a lesser degree, because I think like what Tolkien did with the language is amazing. But like, I can't wrap my head around how he created the backstory,
Right?
let alone the story itself.
Yeah.
Like the world he built to epitomise everything in there. And you're thinking there's so much in there that, like, I don't know, I wouldn't even thought
how
of.
can you make up languages like?
Yeah.
I know.
Do you know what I mean?
It's like, I suppose,
Where's
all
the
the
start?
stuff that happens in, like, the Star Trek, the Star Wars universes, they're like, if you're really into that stuff,
Yeah,
you
they've
read
been
and read,
to
and
it.
they, like, they flourish, don't they?
Yeah.
I can't get my head around writing a book, let alone writing all the backstory.
It's that it's a story he used to tell his kids at bedtime, isn't it?
That's it. Yeah.
Because that's in the summarization bit at the start, I think, of the books I'm
Of the
reading. They talk
Hobbit.
about, like, how his kids loved it in The Hobbit, and then they were like, oh, you're going to make this into another book? And he's like, fuck, not really. But
Yeah.
but because Joe made me laugh about the books more than anything. Have you read the reading age on those books?
No, I haven't.
This shows that he was middle class as they come, right? Middle to upper class. Lord of the Rings is aimed at 11 to 13-year-olds.
What?
I am Googling a few words every couple of chapters.
Is it?
Like, I like to read, but he clearly spent too much time in Eton and Harrow as a kid, like, because where everybody's reading, like, serious books. Cause,
Yeah.
And, like, I don't know, you've got kids. Have you got your own?
No, yeah. No.
I haven't got kids yet, but, like,
Yeah.
from what I understand of the youngsters that come in the gym that I dealt with when I was there, none of them read, like.
No.
Yeah. It's
They can't, like.
It's kind of like I think it's kind of like not a forgotten thing, but no, because we got, like, you know, the phones now, and we got something else to kind of get our attention. I just don't think youngsters will read. Like,
I think it's becoming a lost art.
yeah.
Yeah.
Not like people are like, oh, I can read. I'm like, no, it takes time to read. You've got to put time into it. And, like, obviously I go from reading, like, maybe textbook stuff to then reading something a bit simpler, and you tend to go at different speeds when something's easier.
Yeah.
But they can't seem to, like, there's no patience there.
Yeah.
Everything is to give them a quick fucking endorphin hit. Everything.
Like, there's no reward. Like, although
Yeah.
I'm dragging myself through Return of the King, I'd be really landed that I did it because it was hard. And I've always, like, it sounds cheesy, stuff that's worth doing isn't easy.
Yeah, no, I know. I say, okay.
And you can go, Joe, it was worth doing. Like, I suppose exactly what we were talking about Jiu-Jitsu earlier. It takes 10 to 15 years to get anywhere
That's
near
it.
it.
Yeah.
It's time, innit?
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
that's the
it's the journey as well, isn't it?
And I don't know about you guys. Do you like a book over a Kindle?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
100%.
Yeah, I'm glad you're on side of that.
Do
Like,
you know, honest to God, if I got to school, I got to sniff the book, like, dude.
so it is for me.
Wrap a
It's
nostril
getting
around it.
through the pages so that you can see, like, a loading bar, how far I am through. Because if I haven't got that, if I got a Kindle, I ain't got a clue how long I got left.
That's
I know
it,
I'm
yeah.
like,
I know. Endless,
Yeah.
like, I know.
and I just feel like everything we do is like we're plugged in.
Yeah.
Phones, like, I turned my phone off now. I'm landed. Phones, iPads, laptops.
Yeah.
With a book, you are disconnected.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
And I think that's something that is going away.
It's alien. I don't think, like, kids, even adults, I don't think they could spend time unplugged. You know, sitting on the beach, just have on all day. Like, you just sit on the beach, sit by the pool. You can be completely unplugged, and it'll be great. Like, but people don't. People can't.
Do you know?
Still on their phone.
I've started when we go away, leaving my watch and my phone in the room in
I
the
do.
safe,
I always have.
and then take my book, because you don't realise how much time you're back and forth. Like, you know, if you go on the iPhone, it can tell you how many times you picked your phone up. I pick my phone up like 300 times a day. Wow. Because I'm mostly checking programs between clients and that. But even if you half that, that's still 150 pickups a day.
Yeah.
You got to wonder how much of your life you do lose on it. And, like, obviously I work off my phone, like I'm sure you guys do.
Yeah.
You can't not.
You can't, like, get away from it.
No, I know. What was it? I think it was 4.5 hours. It was like a phone ago. I had an iPhone before that one. It was 4.5 hours a day I was on it, and that, like, added up over the week, that's a full day. That's like 24 hours.
That is, I would say, half of what some of my clients are.
Yeah, I know.
Does.
Yeah.
Like, some of them will do 8 hours a day, and I'm like,
We've all become addicts without realising.
yeah.
Yeah.
That social dilemma was good if you haven't watched
Yeah,
that. Like, the
yeah.
one line I liked in that, like, I think there was a lot of bullshit in it as well.
Yeah.
But, like, I think the one line that I thought was really good was, if you're not paying for something, you're the product.
Yeah.
And then you think, why am I
100%.
back and forth on these all fucking
Yeah.
I know.
I know, I'll check Facebook for the 14th time
You
today.
don't gain
On
anything.
but debate and argue and see who's scrapping in the street. Like,
I know.
See what Jane has shared,
Yeah.
like, from fucking
a dog lost in
Cricero.
Utah.
And my mate's mother used to do that all the time, like, and we'd be like, fucking hell.
I know you're not in that group
and,
anymore.
and the best thing is, she'd share something from Utah, but it was from, like, 2 years ago.
Yeah.
she hasn't checked the dick on location.
So, like you said about being plugged in, I would love to have a camera on those Love Island lot before they go into Love Island. Because obviously they haven't got phones in Love Island.
Okay.
And a lot of them guys are like early 20s.
Yeah.
I reckon it's like a crackhead clinic. So like 4 days before they go in, they're all like clacking in a room looking for their phones. Because they must just go from like off the street through some sort of vetting process. And then obviously whenever they go in, they take their phones off them. But I guarantee, like, this is going to sound generalising, but a lot of those people who will go into Love Island will be like quite...
Keep going. Yeah, cool. Yeah, no, it goes off. It does.
I thought that was a CID snapping. So, you know.
Or someone through the blinds.
Yeah. But like, they will have been the type of people that would be really concerned with image, I would have thought.
Yeah.
And I'd say there's a correlation between how strongly you care about your image with how much you use social media.
Yeah.
And then you've got to wonder, how hard is it for them to come off their phone?
Yeah.
And like, what do they talk about?
I know. You'll be a real person, like.
Because like the other half watches it. I don't know if you guys watch it. Like,
my missus has watched it in the past, like, and I've tried to like tune in with it, and I just watched it and think, nah, it's not for me.
Yeah, I would watch like bits. I'm just like, is this what these people talk about?
Yeah. I don't like TV's just shit, isn't it? It feels like TV's like a shit version of what the phone's trying to do. It's trying to keep you hooked and
keeps you hooked on to something. It's like all the programs out, they just like sensationalist thing. And like I got dragged into that Maths Australia the other week. At first sight. I only got dragged into.
I love how you've shortened that down. Was it called abbreviated?
Maths, because I was in with the crew watching Maths.
Is it?
But Tina was like halfway through the season. I was just strolling through. I think it was between clients. I went to get a drink, and all I heard was this fella saying to his mate in an Aussie accent, going, "Are you going to put a muzzle on your wife?" I was like, "I'm bought in." But like all these people, like that show, for instance, right? It must just be for like the social capital they all gain from it, because like these people on Maths, for instance, right? They're all like 9s out of 10 if you look at them physically. A lot of them have got their own businesses or they're really successful. When do you realise you're the problem? Like if you've got everything on paper and you, like, not that I'm saying everybody should be married up by 35 or whatever, but like if you've gone through a series of relationships and they haven't worked out and you are ticking a lot of boxes here, when do you realise you're the sociopath? When do you realise you're Patrick Bateman?
I don't think some people do it. I think some people like go on throughout their whole life, you know, repeating the same fucking thing. Making the same mistake constantly, like in relationships and stuff, at least. I
know someone who's like, who, like, they'd have a new girlfriend every like 2 years. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they introduce
it's just a rotation.
Yeah, and they'll introduce them to somebody, right? I'll tell you after the podcast, right? They'll introduce them to someone, and then that person, and like said to me, they're like, as soon as like he starts introducing like a new girl, I know that he's gonna be splitting up with the one that he's with already. Like, do you mean? And it's like a loop, like, and like you say, it's like that person is the problem.
Some people thrive off it, doesn't they? Like, I sound like an old man now. I just want a quiet life now.
Yeah.
If my other half leaves me, I'm gonna die alone with a dog. That's what I've decided now. I can't be bothered.
Yeah.
Like, it's. Whereas, like, I think a lot of us just want a quiet life, want to do other things we want to do and just get on. Some people, like you said, just love that chaos.
Yeah, chaos, I know.
That's probably the only way to put it, Nick. They only know turmoil, maybe.
Yeah. I used to teach a guy who was like a normal guy. And
normal.
And after a while, I hadn't seen him for a while. He came back for lessons like about a year later. And I didn't have a phone and he lived in a van. And he didn't use like banks or anything. And he's like just completely off the grid, just living in his van, like trotting around, like doing odd jobs. People like, older guy with the dog in the van. Like.
Might be me in a couple of years now. They lose the plot completely.
Try and get in contact with him somehow after this. Like.
I'm trying to think of characters that I've come across in the gym now. Like there was a lad who's come to the gym. I won't name any names, but like I knew his old man years ago, and he was like proper legend of a bloke, sound guy. And then his boy introduced him to himself one day, just out of nowhere, and he's like, "Oh, you know my old man?" And he says, "No," and I just thought, "What is it? This is like others." And he wouldn't join the gym at one point because he had to scan his finger, and he thought the government would store his information. Oh, wow! And I was like,
"Went that deep, like
proper deep." And he had like a proper burner phone.
Yeah. £9 in Tesco.
Like, I know that every week he puts that in a bin somewhere in Sandfields and buys another one just in case somebody's tracking him.
A clamshell, like.
Do you know, I was having this conversation with the boys the other night. We went for food and that, right? And I was saying about the time where I wouldn't I wouldn't put my fingerprint on an iPhone, like, do you mean? Because of that. Because I was thinking...
Did you have one of those phases?
Yeah, I was like, they like, as soon as you put your fucking fingerprint in there, that's going to go straight to the government, like, do you mean? But I was thinking... They've already got my shit, like.
Yeah.
On top of that, mate, I hate with you. They don't care about you.
No, exactly.
Really
like, do you mean?
If you were part of an undercover Al Qaeda cell in Sandfields and you were carting around loads of fertilizer from Pyle Garden Centre, I'd be like, maybe they're looking into a bit more.
Week, like. No, but it's like I do genuinely. I still believe that if the police wanted our fingerprints, that they could go to Apple.
Oh, 100%.
Do you know what I mean? 100%. But
my only way of combating that is we ain't ever going to stop them.
Yeah.
That's the way I look at it. Like, I don't know about you, Scott, but like, I always think of it now as like, I control the controllables. And like, I don't know if you guys have read it, but I read The Chimp Paradox a long time ago and it changed my life. Like,
what's that?
It's all about... Go on, you go.
No.
It's all about like kind of mind management and being able to go, I'm not going to get anything from this situation. I need to step away, or when to engage in things. So like one of the ones he uses is a really good one. Is like, you get cut up on a roundabout and you're effing and jeffing at the bloke in the car in front. You're pissed off all day.
Yeah.
He don't even know he's pissed you off. You've just pulled off the next turn and he's enjoyed the rest of his day.
Yeah.
You're so wound up and you're only annoying yourself at like something that nobody else cares about.
Yeah.
So you're only really causing yourself problems. So like, I know one of the things I took from it was like, before I engage in a conversation with somebody, I'll think to myself, am I able to change this person's opinion? Am I going to get anything worthwhile out of this conversation? Not in a selfish way, but is this conversation going to be an argument, or is it going to be an interesting debate? And if I think I'm not going to get that kind of response from me, I don't kind of say the things that maybe younger Dan would have started a riot over.
Right.
So like, you don't know what I say all the time, is it stop me fighting Herbalife reps on the internet?
Right.
Because years ago I used to think, oh, this is brilliant. I spent 3 hours fighting some Herbalife rep from fucking Carmarthen and realised the only person that was annoyed was me, and I'd wasted my evening.
I saw one of them years ago. Like, I hadn't seen him for a while. All of a sudden, Herbalife, just thin. Just like drained, like someone just sucked all the essence.
They were massive at one point, didn't they, Herbalife? Like, but like they were massive back in the day as well. Like, I think when my parents were younger, like in the 20s, 30s, there was a big thing
if you got in early to that, like there's one or two guys locally, is it? Stereo, one of them.
All right.
There's a boy locally, apparently his father or something got into it really, really early on and was one of the big like branches out that made shed loads of money. I think any of those kind of schemes, if you get in early enough, because that's what they are. If you get in early enough and you get enough for like, I think uplines they call them or whatever, you can make crazy money. But then it also comes down to your ethics then. But don't start me on that tirade now. But I just find like, if you've read that sort of book, like stepping away from situations you have no control over, and I just think like, if the government really wanted to do that stuff to us, I think they I have little to no power over it. I'm like, it is what it is.
I say I've got that book saved now on my Amazon buy list.
Read it though. Don't listen to it. I've heard a few people bought the audio, and I just think it's one of those books that you can't listen to. I think it's not complex, but I read it. Sounds mental. I read a chapter, then I went back a chapter. So I do like 2 chapters. Then when I read it again, I'd read the last chapter again, then read forward. Right. To like ingrain it, because it's very much like systems-based approach to keeping yourself sane. Is probably the one. And Atomic Habits is a good read if you haven't read that.
Got that. I think I've read that. Yeah. But I never remember shit though. Like, I read a book and it's like I've just fucking experienced that, like a film, and then it's gone out of my brain.
I tried to take one thing from each book. So one of the ones I took from Atomic Habits as an example, which I thought was, it was a good book, but none of them really tell you anything groundbreaking. Like, I think they're all kind of like the same iterations, but like Atomic Habits, the one thing I really liked about it was what he called habit stacking. So I used it. I was like, you obviously work down here. You go up, is your kitchen the first room you come into?
But yeah.
So if you go, like, I come back from work, I go straight into the kitchen. I start cooking. As I'm cooking, I'll run the dish sink, so the dishes. So I do the dishes and clean up any mess. So I stack one habit on the next, because if I sit my ass down, it's game over.
Yeah,
I do nothing, and it was just it made me realise how. I don't know if you guys are the same, but I know full well if I sit my ass down, it's game over. I'm not doing nothing. I find it a real struggle to get up and go. Right. Whereas if I keep busy, I suppose if you've got lessons back to back, same as you, I don't notice the time.
No, I know. Yeah.
But no, if you get like that hour gap, I'm like,
Yeah, no, exactly the
I
same.
don't think we nap enough as well, see, and I think that's what...
Oh,
do you mean?
mate, I am a top napper.
Is it?
When I worked in the gym, I could sleep in the office for 15 minutes between clients if I had a chance. I can sleep anywhere. Scott will tell you I'm tired, like tired life, like. But like, do you get a chance? Would you nap between clients?
No, no, I don't. They literally back to back. I
You
stuff
got the
them in.
perfect napping situation
it's
there.
like a thing.
Like I can't think of a better place to nap.
I couldn't now. I had about 3 hours sleep, I think, last night.
Yeah.
Went out last night, got crunked.
Where?
Town.
What, Talbot Town?
Yeah. Well,
Why?
I went to the Scare for food for Barry's birthday.
Any good?
Well,
Here we go.
we went there. They said 2 o'clock in the Scare. So I went there Saturday. When I was the first one there, a table's booked for a couple of us. I don't know when he's come in. So there's no table booked. I was like, right, okay. So messaged the boys, it's still 2 o'clock. I said, yeah. So I said, I'll book a table now. 5 or 6 of us. I said, okay. And then Barry came in. I said, we're not having food. I said, what the fuck? I said, this is some of the boys be having food, but not all of us. Don't book a table. We'll fucking cancel it. So I cancelled the table. We all sat at the front in the sun. Like, there's one table of people in there. There's like 2 boys that we know. Took their nan there for food kind of thing. It was just them having food. And I was by the bar getting a drink with 2 of the boys. The chef was fucking sweating. You know the swingy door?
Yeah.
You could see through it. He burst. He was by the bar. He looked at us. 3 people by the bar is all. He went back in with that hands in his head. They're all ordering food. They're all ordering food. They fucking just...
Friend job a breakdown, like.
Yeah. This is a normal day. Like, this is a quiet day for him. It's his job to make food.
Yeah.
He's just fucking complaining, like. And one of the boys asked...
Don't take the job.
Yeah, well, it just seemed like... I don't know, maybe he's like new or whatever. It was nice food, though. It was all right.
Yeah, because that's
funny.
reopened, isn't it?
Yeah, new owners and stuff. It's yeah, it was right. It's scary.
Did you end up in Jimmy's, or is the big question?
I did end up in Jimmy's, yeah.
Is there a message on the bottom right corner? Is that anything to do with this?
Oh, no, that's right. No, it's fine.
Sorry to interrupt, guys.
I did end up in Jimmy's. So we went
Till
from the
what
Scare.
time?
Before-ish.
Slow clap. Are you proud of yourself?
Like, no,
You're a father of how many children?
2 children. But
and they have fond memories of their dad coming slaughtered.
I burnt on one side of my neck, like fucking prawn back inside myself. We went to the Bell. That's the most fucking colourful place.
Yeah.
Well, it's on the way, wasn't it? It was on the way down.
That's not a reason to end up there. That's not a reason to end up there.
Like, I used to like the Bell, but you've got to be in a certain mindset. That we walked in, there was
was there somebody racking up on the toilet?
It looked like a buffet, right? But you know, like a small 1 square table, of like pizza crust and like just dry fucking, what are those? You know those you can't eat 3 crackers in a minute.
Ravitas.
Yeah. And like fucking cheese and a stick. It was like the worst fucking 1 single buffet. We were just pissing ourselves walking in. So what the fuck is this? Walked at the back. The garden was just full of just fucking scroats, like, you know, like this fucking. And
it's the politest way to put it, really, isn't it?
Yeah, but you could tell, like, they were all completely fucking wired. This is about 3 or 4 in the afternoon. Instantly just fucking, I'm sure one girl pulled a fucking bag of something out of her vagina and started fucking passing it around to everyone. Do you know what I mean? Just fucking
as you
hiding
do.
It, like, yeah. And yeah, it's just fucking...
It is a different place, Bell. I think I've only ever been in
different.
once or twice. And I'm walking in and instantly thinking, I think I belong here.
Yeah, it's a Star Wars bar.
And it's not a classic. I was just a bit like, I'm afraid.
Yeah. But like, yeah, most of the boys know everyone there. But then we found out like that group of people were there to celebrate their friends being released from prison that day.
Oh, nice.
Of course they were.
So that's what the buffet was for.
The Revita and pizza.
Yeah.
Because that's the first thing you want when you go to prison.
Yeah.
No
and then,
murder Revita.
I know. And then he came in after a while then, and everyone, it was like, you know, everyone...
went off.
Yeah, it went off a little bit. And his jaw was all over the place. Like, we left then. That's how we
Do you know what? If that was like reality TV, I'd watch her.
Yeah.
If they were like, 24 hours in the Bell, I'd be like, yeah, I watch her.
Yeah, it was funny.
Like 24 hours in police custody, 24 hours in the Bell.
In the Bell, yeah. Fucking all.
Onto a gold mine now.
Yeah.
We should market that. Timestamp her.
Yeah, timestamp.
Timestamp. We called it first.
Yeah, onto the rugby club then. There's a band on in there.
Oh, you did the crawl, did you? Went all the way down, did you?
Yeah.
Legion.
Didn't go to Legion, no.
What's next
Just
to the
went
Legion?
straight to town then. That's it then, isn't it? Grand.
Oof, yeah.
Or Lion, Grand.
Grand.
Didn't do all that. Went to Avonales. Avonales was great.
Yeah, it's pumping every time I go past
Loving
that.
it. The only place that's got good music that I really want to dance to, like, and it makes you want to dance. Like,
Have you gigged in there, you pair?
No.
No.
Opportunity on the pod?
I only do weddings now.
Snob.
I know.
£700 an hour, I only do weddings anymore.
Yeah, it's me. Well, it turned into a money thing at the end. It's like, am I going to do this gig for 80 quid or am I going to do this one for like 350?
40 quid and poke scratchings.
Yeah, I did a gig for 40 quid before.
Because when I was listening to you guys talking about the gigging thing, I didn't realise, like, obviously because I'm ignorant to it, because I'm not in your world, I didn't realise how hard, how long, and how much you get fucked about before you get, like, good money, or from what you kind of say, like, get into the, everybody wants to be in the wedding band, but is it all that it's cracked up to be, and like...
No, fucking...
I was in Oxford yesterday, like last night. Do you mean? So like, you had a long one last week, not before you went all in.
Yeah,
it was 4 hours, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But like yesterday, like I was, in Oxford. So I left my house about like 2. Do you mean? And I got in 2:30. Do you mean? But like people think of it as like, it's like, oh, you're only playing for 2 hours. And it's like,
Yeah, because like when you were like, I get paid so much for like 2 sets. I'm like, but then you got set up, and like people don't think about like stuff. I suppose like this sort of stuff. Kit is pricey. Like I know kit for my gym is pricey. Let alone what you guys pay on electrical stuff. Like I can only imagine what you spend on like mics and everything else. Like and then you need some Trisha from the West Country wrecking your mic and dropping it.
Did you see my post the other day? The Asians.
What's that?
Oh yeah, what was that all about?
So we got a new duo now. Me and Sarah got a duo. We called it fucking Bellacino.
Right.
Bella is like beautiful. Asino is a donkey.
Right.
Who's the donkey?
I don't know. That was funny. That was hilarious.
Yeah.
But anyway, I had an inquiry through like I did a Google ad and someone got an inquiry. It was like a gay wedding. Both of them were from Hong Kong and they brought their family over and stuff. Like a load of them from just Hong Kong people. And it was our wedding basically.
Where?
In Thornbury Castle. It's like a haunted castle between.
I was hoping you were going to say in the Bell.
Yeah. Come full circle.
So it was like they were full into karaoke out there, like massively. And one of the people there, they're all influencers. So, so once we set it up, like looking on like the courtyard of this old like this castle, basically the fountain and stuff. There's a little Asian, like frolicking in the flowers, like, do you know what I mean? Like plucking flowers and like scattering.
They love it, don't they? Like that's like
it was a few. There was like more than there's about 3 different photographers for the influencers.
Is it?
Yeah, like like taking photos of just them, not the wedding, just them, like fucking.
Yeah.
They love it, don't they? And like that is a full-time
like...
job for some of these people.
Yeah.
How many do you get? Any likes and shares or what?
Well, we haven't got an Instagram thing for the duo. So I sent them a message. They're in Portugal. They're doing they're going on a tour. They went from, I think they went to like Copenhagen, and then they went to somewhere else. Then they came to do the wedding. Then they went to Portugal, and then it's home. So
I can't wait to see him on Portugal Strip in Albufeira. That would be amazing. That's a change of direction. That is.
I was there last week, spewing all over the floor.
What, in Albufeira? Mate, it's carnage.
Big night, like.
Yeah, it's fucking. Yeah, it is carnage.
Do you end up in Alberta's? They're
I
like
don't know.
the Irish bar where they do karaoke.
Oh no!
Because we were with Bayo, Joe Adam.
Oh yeah.
With Bayo,
and
like he may as well have had like a regular slot because every night we'd just like walk in, the DJ would see him, we'd like push him over, and he'd be singing all night. Don't it? It was quality.
Yeah. We had a band once. We did like.
Good voice, Darling.
Yeah.
Really good voice.
Yeah.
It was quality. Like I'm not in like that sort of scene, but I didn't realise how good he was. I thought he's gone on mic.
Yeah.
Fair play to him.
Yeah, Adam,
ballsy, like, I was like, what the
Yeah.
It's quality, like.
We didn't end up there, but like we ended up in a Scottish bar and there was a Scottish match on. So fucking he was good in there. It was fucking pumping, like, and then they were doing Scottish chants and there was like English crowd outside doing counter chants. They were in the middle of a fucking scrap, like.
Love it.
Yeah, but I ended up drinking too much. I think I can't remember if I cried at one point. But I was like, I just run away. Do you know what I mean? I get to a point and I get a fucking side quest that I've got to go on from nowhere.
Why
I
did
just
you cry?
leave.
I want to know you cried.
I don't know. I have no idea.
Did you realise how rough it was? Because, like, as a youngster, when you go to, like, Magaluf and places, you just, I think, blissfully unaware.
Yeah.
And I remember we got to, like, Albufeira, and it's like, when was the last time I went on a stag? To somewhere like that a couple of years ago. And every year I go away now and I'm getting a bit older, I progressively notice how dodgy the places we are. And like it looked like I'd walked into Baghdad in 2008 when I got to Albufeira Strip. I was like, what are we doing here?
Yeah, we stayed in somewhere, it was nice and chilled, and like I was having acai bowls every morning by the beach, like it was fucking great. Then in there straight away, and it's just fucking instant Magaluf and fucking all that shit. But it was I just felt old.
Yeah, well, something to me is we were walking on this like windy road to the Strip. This is the first night, and this fella like came from behind a car in the middle of nowhere. He had like black Nike taps, Nike trousers, Nike t-shirt, black cap on. It's like I took one look at him, thought drug dealer.
Yeah,
didn't even say hello to us. Right from about 15 yards away, when a guy, ketamine, just screamed it at us. We're like, and I was like, oh, so this is how the holiday's going to go. Like, strange all place. Like
cocaine, they were trying to push on us all the time. Everyone, and one of them had like a little sign saying it. I mean, like flashed at us when we were sitting down, like a glass, fucking kind of thing. Yeah.
Yes.
So like, Amsterdam's kind of similar, where like I was like walking down the street. And like, say that was like just like a gap in between a building. You just have a guy go, cocaine. You in? They just come no way, like fucking. Oh, go on, then.
To the best thing is, like, everywhere I've been with the missus, like Sweden, Budapest, people just glare at me, sweet cocaine. I'm like, what?
Yeah, what the fuck, like?
I'm like, what?
Yeah,
it's like 4 o'clock.
Do you know fucking Mexico, right? I went to Cancun, and I was blacked out, so I can't even remember this. But apparently, like, do you know, like if like this boy was doing drugs in the toilet. And like the bouncer kicked the door open, grabbed the bag off him, and like looked at the picture that was on the bag, and then gave it back to him because it was like what the bouncers, because it was like approved by the bouncers. Like it was must have been.
I'm not surprised at all in Mexico. Not surprised at all.
It was wild. Like I like I say, I don't remember that happening.
It's like from it, isn't it?
But when you go, like, I think at like 21, 24, you don't really realise, and then like a couple of years goes on. A stag with Powell and all that for Matthew saying, and there was this young girls chatting to us, and like she was like, I'm gonna walk home now, and we're like, not on your own, you're not. No, because you're old man, you realise like 10 years ago, like, try see tomorrow, like try just like saying goodbye. But like you think to yourself, like, she's a youngster on her own, and you know what it can be like in 100%. These places. I just find it mad that you go full circle and you turn into your parents, don't you?
Well, like,
what age do you reckon that happens?
When you just become sensible.
I'm going to say like about 28, 29, don't I?
Yeah, when you start realising, I reckon, you start thinking, when you realise you're not immortal, and if somebody decides to stab you, you ain't as hard as you think.
No, I know, Apparently, when you reach the age of 28, that's like the limit of your, what's the word? You know, the
partying,
grown up, like what is it?
Is it?
Like mature, yeah. So like a 60-year-old has the same mind as he did when he was 28. Still feels 28.
Oh, right.
I see.
Still feels 28 until his hip goes and he's trying to break dance.
I used to teach a guy online, and he was talking to me about fucking, acid and mushrooms and all that shit. Like he's one of the boys.
Like
I found it mad. It's the first time I connected to an old person that I didn't think he's old cunt.
Well, there's
do you know what I mean?
There's someone that we know very well who still indulges, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
And like, he's 62 now.
It's not the guitar teacher down the road, is it? No. I'll give him credit. He got work ethic.
I'll tell you.
I put some hours in, not like him more.
No, I know. He's always been the same. Like, he taught me guitar in the year 2000. He's flat out has not stopped since. He hasn't left our room since.
During lockdown, I swear to God, it was like having like a mini glass store down the bottom of my street.
Is it?
Like, I'd be out the back training or something, or just chilling, and all I could hear is him ripping it up to AC/DC. I don't know whether he was teaching or not, or doing his own thing, but it was quality tunes all day. Like,
So where are you living then, Dan?
I'm a street that way man. A street I am.
Is it?
Yeah.
I'll tell
you close by?
Bryn. I am.
Do you know what? If I could go anywhere in Batalba to live, it'd be Bryn.
It's lovely, but it's quiet. Like,
I got friends that live. I think I'm gonna get this right. You go along the main road and you can drop down and round. They have got like miners' cottages right further along, so like near the railway line, is it?
Yeah,
the old
yeah.
railway, and they knock 2 into 1. Garden backs onto the old path. Stunning. They had to buy a supersized like robot lawnmower though, because their gardens at like a 70-degree angle, and they couldn't do it. But like, yeah, Bryn is stunning, and it's not too far out, is it?
No, it's like I grew up in Velindra, like it's 10-minute drive. Do you mean? I remember when we first moved up there, like Amy's friends was just like, "Oh my god, have you moved so far?"
But that's a Batolbert thing, that is.
Yeah,
I think people.
It's 2 songs in the car, innit?
Don't even see it. Have you seen the Batolbert people? I went to Mexico with the missus.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
You went where?
Yeah.
So I went to Hawaii last year. My old man took us away because he's like his retirement thing. You know, I told people, some people have trouble with it. Oh no. It's more than 2 hours on a plane, that.
2 hours, yeah.
So like 2 hours on a plane, it's like, I don't know if it's a small town mentality. I don't know what it is like.
Do you know, when I was about 23, right, I went to Swansea to go and watch Stone Roses cover band, right? And one of the boys I was with, who I grew up with, I think it was his first time ever going to Swansea. So we on a night out, like, and I was thinking, fuck, man, I was doing that when I was 16. Like,
I saw a friend last night, right? Her daughter's 15. She was in Swansea last night. Like, out.
Shit,
yeah.
So now.
I was like, fucking...
Fairly legal. Whose fault is that when that goes wrong? Because it's going to, isn't it?
Yeah, no, I felt
Whose fault is that?
Yeah. And she was like staying in a friend's house as well, did you mean?
Yeah.
So
that's a fear of mine. Do you know, like, if I ever have a daughter, like when she's like 15, 16, she starts lying to you, like, to be like, I'm sleeping over Shannon's, and then she's down the fucking park.
Yeah.
See what I mean? Smoking joints.
Grew up with Thomas Powell.
Yeah.
Like, I'm a little bit older than Powell, but I worked with him in JD Sport.
Oh, yeah.
I never want to have a girl. I learned off Powell. There's people like him. Like, I love Powell. He's a good boy.
Yeah, yeah.
But he was like, especially in his younger years, world-class scumbag. He'll tell you that himself. He can't help himself. Like, he's a reformed man now, you know. Powell, you sort your life out.
Yeah.
But like, when he was younger, imagine your daughter came home with Powell.
I don't know where. I'm not sure he is.
I love Tom.
He's a lovely guy. Like, he looks the part. He's a big lump, lovely white teeth unit.
Is he a jiu-jitsu?
Yeah, he's done it a bit. Yeah.
Right, okay.
He's a big lump, and he's like always done well with birds. But like, he's behaved now compared to what he was when when he was younger, just prolific. Just it's the only way to describe it. Like,
that's a great word.
It's the only way to describe him. And I just think if I ever had a daughter, I know. And that's part of the reason why I think I need to keep doing jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
Because like obviously we all train with Will. I said, no, he got a daughter and a little lad now. I said, are you just going to wear your brown belt around the house or your black belt when your daughter finally brings somebody home? Like, I suppose it's cauliflower year will put enough people off for it.
Yeah, I've started looking out for that, but you know,
I go and come in.
Have you?
Yeah.
He's a guy in the house rolling.
You can feel it if you grab it. It's all fat like bacon on the inside there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's mad. A year in that, isn't it?
Yeah, if it's deep enough, yeah.
No, what I mean is you've been doing it for a year. Like.
Oh yeah.
I weren't sure if he was going with that, or if he knew we were on about that.
That was an unintended pun, like.
Yeah,
but I've started like just like 5 minute queue somewhere now.
Oh yeah.
I look at people's years and I think they're probably hard fucker. They're probably doing some jiu-jitsu, like.
There's a physio lad who used to work in the gym, and he's quiet, got a master's, like really well educated, quite a my sort of stamp, not a big lad. And I only went to see him to have my bicep looked at the other day, and I've known him for ages. But now that I've started jiu-jitsu, I know to look, and I never noticed the fucker got a huge cauliflower ears.
Is it?
Just never even clicked to it before. But now I know. I was like looking for it, I was like, oh Jesus. And he's like a purple or like virgin on a brown or whatever.
Shit.
And it's like an unofficial belt cauliflower ear, I suppose.
Yeah, some people get it quick, don't you? Like, you could have had it by now if you're just unlucky, do you mean?
Yeah.
How's that? Is it just like the skin separates from the cartilage? Is that right?
I don't understand what it is. I thought he was just like toughening the skin over time, but I'm not sure.
I'm not exactly sure what it is, but when I went to see Steve O's live show, he showed us a video clip of he over like a couple of months, his goal was to get cauliflower ear. Like. So he had like Francis Ngannou, I think, punched in his ear, and like someone hit it with a hammer.
I saw the one he put it between 2 steel plates on a barbell.
Yeah.
And just like rammed in. I was like, what?
Yeah.
Why?
Did he get it?
Yeah.
Commit hard, like
so much fucking blood, like just because
they fill up, don't you have to drain them and stuff as well?
Yeah, you drain it, and then you got magnets that put the skin back in, otherwise it'll fill up again apparently.
Oh well, like one either side, like
you can get them on. You can get them somewhere, I think.
You can tell we're all relatively new to this. Like,
We're all going home tonight now, fucking, like, asking the missus to punch us.
Whereas, like, people like Will and Norman and all those boys just turn up years, like, fucking massive, like, just don't give a fuck, like.
Yeah.
I know.
I think my other half would have a meltdown if I had cauliflower ear. She'd be tamping.
Is it?
Yeah, I think she'd be furious.
Yeah, some people got it. Like,
I suppose it's something like you won't even realise you got. It just, over time, it's just there. Like,
you can get rid of it.
Bottom when you have a group photo with your mates and you realise you got a massive yug, like.
Yeah.
Sunday dinner, Ed.
Sunday dinner. Fucking hell.
Yeah.
So, like, what's your thoughts on jiu-jitsu? What's your thoughts on, like, the wrestling? What, like
standing up and
yeah, like, stuff. That's a better conversation, actually. What's your thoughts on the stand-up part of jiu-jitsu? Because it absolutely scares the shit out of me.
But you know, through going on the Saturday, do judo, didn't he? So Batch yesterday, he used me as the kind of dummy throw person, and I've never felt safer being thrown by someone who knows what they're doing. The worst thing is when someone's just fucking trying. Do you know what I mean? And someone did something, grabbed onto me, and just fucking made me bear their weight, like. But he was on my fucking knee, and I thought
that's what freaks me out.
That's the way, but I'm aware of that. I mean, I know that that's a danger. Scott got thrown, didn't he, last year?
Yeah, I got it on my phone. The photo I'll show you after. His elbow in the X-ray is different.
Yeah, it's dislocated.
Yeah, there's dislocation and there's nearly on the wrong part of his body. Like, his elbow is well outside of where it should be.
Just
like,
from being thrown, like.
No, so he
based out.
Yeah, that's
with,
it.
Oh no, I went the wrong way.
Through him. Yeah,
and he based out and took the weight, the two of them, didn't he? And his hand was, well, from what I understand, his hand was on the back of his shoulder, but like far away.
Nah, man. See, that's.
And like, I think there's some stupid stat, and they're like 90% of injuries in jiu-jitsu go from failed takedowns. And I watched some a jump guard the other day, and somebody's knees went the wrong way.
Oh, I know. Yeah, I see now.
Stop.
I know.
It's a plastic trophy, boys.
Yeah.
Like, like you've paid 50 quid to come to Reading to have a scrap. Just accept it. Yeah.
It's I'm the same with you with the takedowns and stuff, like the standing takedowns. Like, I've been shown how to kind of land where you slap the mat and all that, because there's that magic thing where you don't feel anything to him.
I slap the mat and then wheeze when nobody can hear.
Oh fuck. Here we go. I got a bad cough.
I thought that's what you're doing.
It's the end.
It's the end. But I hate getting when I know I'm gonna be getting thrown. It's like I'm gonna fucking snap an arm there, like.
Yeah, I think
and break a leg.
Yeah, I've never consciously. You know, they say chin in, like keep your arms in or whatever. Don't let your legs sit together and stuff. It's like shit like that. I'm not conscious of all that. I don't know whether everyone is either. But like, you know, the rolling helps. You know, the forward rolls and fucking diving into it and throwing yourself into it. Like, that's quite good.
I just accept God.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
I just, as much as I like the idea of it, until I'm forced, I will refuse. It's probably the wrong mentality.
I'm enjoying it now. Like, I'm better with no gi than gi, but judo in the gi I'm better with. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Stand up in the gi I'm much better with.
You've been smashing your own, and you, to be fair, you've been doing a good couple of sessions every week for a while now.
Yeah. I've had a month off now, so I'm just gagging to get back into it now. I just really want to get back into it. But I still enjoy it. Like, I did like the first time, like the first week. Like,
I've gone a little bit the other way. I won't lie.
Is it?
I'm less beaten up that I'm not doing it, and everything else seems to be going well. And I'm like,
you can take it. I take it easy more as well. Do you know what I mean? Because I'm going more. I'm not fucking flat out. I don't care if I win or lose. I get tapped out all the time by people, but it's like, I used to have like death grips. Do you know what I mean? I'm fucking getting this. Do you know what I mean?
I'm gonna fucking pull your head off.
Yeah. But I don't really do that anymore. It's like you said, it's a play in now. It's like I feel like it's a game. Like I know what I need to do to get past this knee or whatever, so I'll do it. It's not just fucking storming through. I think
do you feel that clicked at one point? Do you like something changed, or
I think it's just a gradual thing with me. I just felt more calm. You know, like we were.
Yeah.
It's like I just feel calmer doing it, and I'm kind of, I know what I should be doing, and I'm just initiating, and I'm doing those things. It's like a conscious thing rather than fuck.
Yeah, I'm still in the fuck, but I think I'm still trying to find the balance between doing weights and trying to do a bit of jiu-jitsu and enjoy the both. Whereas I think in nails, it seems there's quite a lot of guys in there that literally go ham 6 days a week. And like, they progress at a rapid rate or whatever because they're doing so much of it. Doesn't seem to be many that balance more than one hobby, but I just don't know if that's me looking into how do you find it with work and stuff? Because obviously you got a similar job to like me and Scott. You run sociable hours and stuff, and you as well.
Yeah. Like what I've been doing since I started now, I've been going about 4 or 5 times a week because but I'm in the honeymoon phase in a sense, I suppose, isn't it? But like because I the way I think of it is because I haven't got kids. Mm-hmm. I can just fucking, once I finish work, I can just go. Do you know what I mean? It's not like I got to get home for anything, like, do you mean?
Do you not work late then? I thought you would.
It depends, like, do you mean? Like, I've been incorporating the jiu-jitsu into my work schedule, like, do you mean? So, like, if a class starts at 6 for an hour and a half, sometimes I'll do, like, 8 till 9 with a student after it then.
Oh, fair,
do you know what I mean? So I'm making sure, like, I haven't got an excuse to, like, not go in a sense then. Same with the gym. I've started going to the gym, like.
Oh, what gym are you going to?
I've been a Celtic Leisure for a little bit, like, do you mean?
Posh.
Is it posh, is it?
It's expensive, isn't it? It's a joking gym, like, but it's posh.
It's a joking gym, is it?
It's not full joking gym, like. Glamorgan Health and Racket is where people turn up to have a coffee and meet their friends and pretend they like training.
Right. That's expensive, isn't it?
And that's like £70 a month. Celtic is where, like, people like training.
Yeah.
But it could do with a better setup. It's still a good setup.
I like the classes, I do.
Vitality's a bit better. Pure's the overarching takeover of the minute everywhere. Like Warehouse is a good gym as well, but Pure is like literally taking over.
I like the look of Warehouse. It looks cool, like.
It's got good lighting. It's got a good setup in there. Similar like Darkness sort of setting, but different kit to like Vitality. And like I will always try and air to an independent if I can because like these massive global gyms like Pure, it's going to come in and clean everything up. Otherwise,
yeah, they've undercutted everyone. They're just taking everyone's members and stuff.
How long have you been down in Vitality now?
Well, I was there for 10 years. I left.
Yeah. I remember
last March.
Is it?
Yeah, I've been there since 2012 till 2023. Yeah, sounds about right. Yeah.
I think like way back in the day, I think you gave me like an induction or something.
Yeah,
like,
probably.
Do you mean? Yeah,
it was an interesting 10-year. I think scholarship's the right word.
Is it?
Apprenticeship.
Yeah.
And I learned loads of ways. The owners class, like the both of them are like Blue Boy and James. Like obviously they've gone their separate ways now, but I learned loads there. And I just feel like we need independence. I sound like I'm singing for like the little independent gym things, but I think we need smaller businesses because I don't know if like corporations come in, like big ones, and just destroy everything. I don't know if you see it in your world. Like that guy, have you had Stefan on yet?
Not yet.
Yeah. I take it you're going to talk about all that takeover from those guys and like I suppose drive-in instructors. Have you got like any big companies that come in and clean people out or what?
So like I was with one before and like so I was with a Red Driving School for a couple of years to do my training and stuff, but now I got on my own, like, do you mean?
How did you feel the difference? What do you...
It's much better financially, like, do you mean? Because like I was paying them like £300 a month. Just
rent the car?
No,
or just
that was just to get students. So like it was like 70 odd quid a week.
And they would then feed you students in the local area.
Like a franchise thing, was it?
Yeah. But do you know if you wanted a car, right, with the students, it'd be 250 quid a week, like. Do you mean? So you got to earn £1,000 before you even teach a student, like, before.
Did you do that, or did you have your own car?
I got my own car from VW, from Sinclair's, like, do you mean? And then.
You have to have the brakes.
You can just get it done.
I didn't realize you could do it. I thought it was like a special driving instructor car place.
No, like I ordered. There's like the He-Man is like the kind of main brand. I ordered them off a He-Man website. Come a couple of days later, and I took them to garage. I'd
love it if they just fake pedals.
Yeah,
emergency stop. Nothing's happening.
It's funny having them in the car. You know, if I take the boys, like if we go for a pint somewhere, like and the boys in the car, they always fucking mess about with them. Like,
can you not disengage them? No,
I don't know how. Like.
Because you don't need Barry in your passenger seat. You lit up thinking it's hilarious. The left foot brake.
Stop this, you can't.
Fucking he offended so many people yesterday.
Oh, never.
In the bell.
Oh, Christ.
I can't. I won't mention his name in here, but I'll tell you after the pod. But there's someone you know him, and when you talk to him, he's just fucking a little bit monged out, and you can't tell if his eyes are open or closed.
Right.
He's just kind of but you kind of know him.
Where is this going?
I made a joke about something. I can't remember what I said, but like said something about this guy quietly, and Barry said, "Oh yeah," say his name like
Dave.
I thought it was Steve. Oh yeah, Dave.
Yeah.
He said, "Oh yeah, fat Steve over there," like really loud, like because he's gone like pretty big. He said, "Oh, I can hear you, there, Barry, you cunt. Oh, Barry, cunt." Like just fucking over everyone. Everyone's just. I said, fuck's sake, man.
Do you think there's got to be a time where he's going to get dropped today?
He's just too...
Has he got friends that are handy? Like, who can look after themselves, Barry? Who hangs around with you a lot that would be able to fucking keep him safe?
Past Steve. Steve,
right.
like actual Steve, not Steve from last night. Like, fucking actual Steve, I reckon, is handful.
Oh, I don't know.
He's a big guy, like.
Yeah, he gets angry. His small little head gets red. But I did a flaming sambuca with him, and he'd never done it before. He's about 10 years older than us. So he's about our age now, when we met him. So first time I met him, flaming sambuca, hand on the top. I did it, and he didn't know what the fuck to do. Like he just fucking grabbed it while he was flaming on his face. His face is on fire. He had to take like a week off work for it. Like blisters all over his fucking mouth and all that. Yeah, no, I don't know. There's not many. None of the boys are like, hard as fuck. It's just
because I normally find like, so I think we said about before, like Nathan, one of my mates, the one you talked about, like Nathan, like causes problems whenever the boys go out because there's a couple of the boys that are sort of like Will and stuff. They're like calm and placid as hell. But he knows if anything goes wrong, they're there to back him up. And it just makes him worse. And you're like,
yeah, no. Well, Barry reckons it's the delivery. He reckons like. Everyone just fucking just the banter, like banter buzz. Just fucking
banter buzz.
He reckons.
One of the things he shouted before was fucking tickling me. He went, "Oh, sugar, not you, the other lump."
Yeah,
you got loads of little things like that. Like.
A ginger guy walked past the scare in the main road,
right?
And he's blazed in the sun. He said, "Where's you fucking sun cream?" Like, why?
He'll always just turn around and laugh at me.
Yeah, he's not
laughing at himself, like amazing.
Yeah, it's like you can say shit like that, people. If you're smiling, he reckons if you're smiling, you'll
get away with it. Like,
yeah, I don't think I could.
Until some lunatic takes your head off, like.
Yeah.
But he's been getting away with it for a long time, hasn't he?
Yeah, he got headbutted by your mate.
Who's
somewhere.
That?
Buller.
Oh yeah,
headbutted him.
You don't want to butt off Buller, mind.
Is it?
Yeah, he did. He took one in the eye socket.
Oof.
Why? Black eye over Christmas. I don't know. Probably same thing. Probably him mouthing off, and then he took it the wrong way.
Yeah, Buller's good as go, but Buller don't settle. Like he can calm.
Yeah.
Somebody would go on, he'd just go and bang, trigger him like.
Yeah.
One day, like I think he is gonna fucking. It's happened a few times, alright. I think it's gonna happen bad,
but he's known so well around town. And
exactly.
Everybody knows him. Like,
yeah.
It's just a big joke, isn't he?
Big joke.
So I was gonna ask you, Dan. So like he was in Vitality. Well, what was it called before?
It was Energy for. Was it 2011 to 2016?
Energy with an N.
And then he got ENERGIE. It was part of a franchise because, like you were saying about franchises, the boys are getting raped by the politest way to put it, like with the finances and stuff, and like backhanders, you had to go with their suppliers and stuff. And then whatever happened, they all kind of left and it got taken over. And then it rebranded as Vitality from 2016 till now. Like, so it's been going strong, to be fair.
Yeah, fair play. When was so like, how old was you in 2012 then? Early 20s?
24? Yeah, 24.
Is it?
Rings a bell.
So what was you doing before becoming like a PT or working there then?
Hell, I was in...
Like how did the journey begin to get...
Just go all the way back.
Yeah, to
go all the way back to the Glenavon glory days.
Boy. It's gone. Like.
So, yeah, I can't believe it's gone, first of all. Good times. But
rest in peace.
At 16... I was arrogant and thought I was the cheese at being like, because I passed like, was it 10 GCSEs, 4 A's, 3 B's, all that like without even trying. Thought, this is fucking easier stuff. Went to A level, got humbled real quick.
Yeah.
Real quick. Did 2 years of A levels, cocked them up. My mother made me go and do a B Tech in sport because she's like, you like training. Ironically, when I was in school, I thought PE was for people who couldn't read and write.
Is it?
So yeah. And then my mother made me go back and do a B-Tech, so I got turned down for the army. Finished my B-Tech in sport, thought, fuck this, I'm going to join the paras.
Yeah.
Passed on my physical training stuff for the paras, thought this is going to be amazing. And then day 3, they sat us down with paperwork to tell us that if you pay £10 a month, legs worth 10 grand. If you pay 15, you get 15 grand. Yeah. This was 2008. As one of my mates who served at the time would call it the rock and roll years.
Yeah.
So I was in ITC Captric, just in basic training, thinking, is this for me? And on about day 5, and they read those sort of things out, I thought, oh, fuck it. So I came out, and then I managed to get onto my degree course.
Yeah.
So when I was I did my sports coaching degree whilst working in JD Sports, the mecca of town.
Yeah.
And learnt my social skills, shall we say, working there and working in the lib before. And I went to uni and finished my degree and then came out, and I was lucky enough to get in because I knew Blue from before.
Yeah.
Got into a paid instructor's role and then just slowly built my business up that way. I've been really lucky with the breaks I had with regards to like getting into a gym and getting a waged instructor job because they're quite rare.
Yeah.
They're normally all freelance, so you do so many hours at the gym and work back. And I just built using obviously Blue's knowledge helped me out a bit to kind of build my base up and got to a point where I didn't need to be in the gym anymore. And I thought, I did my time and I enjoyed it. I learned a lot from it, but I don't think I could work for anybody else anymore. I don't know how you guys feel like.
Same, man.
Now I've gone fully self-employed, I would really struggle not going, what time do you want to clock off today, Dan? You work long hours, but it's your choice to work long hours.
That freedom is so good.
That freedom's different, and like I think I've come here by hook or by crook. I've been lucky to land where I am. I worked hard to some extent, but obviously I was lucky. I wouldn't have it any other way, as cheesy as that sounds like. I think I wanted to go to the paras. I wanted to do these things. I'm glad I tried, but I'm glad I also came out because I think I would have had a very different life now.
Yeah.
And like I think if I hadn't have tried and like failed, I'd still be thinking about it now. And I think like a lot of the youngsters I train to now, they're all really afraid of failing or really afraid of trying. And I'm like, what do you want to do?
Yeah.
And they go, I don't know. But I was like, I didn't know either. I just cocked a load of stuff up until I was like, oh, this is all right.
That's life,
like,
isn't it?
There's no blueprint, like.
And I think one of the biggest things, I think, obviously you got youngsters, and I'd love it to happen when I have kids, and I'm sure you'll be the same, but like, I was in a pub at 14. And like, I don't think you can put a price on those social skills. And like, a couple of the young PTs and stuff have asked me, like, oh, how did you get where you are, blah, blah, blah. Like, I suppose you kind of get it as well with music and stuff. And I'm like, I did loads of hours.
Yeah.
I worked hard. But I spoke to people.
Yeah.
And I think going and working in a pub and working in retail, especially retail, I learned to deal with all sorts of guts. And then once you've dealt with people who really are being arseholes, tidy people are easy to deal with. And I think when you learn those social skills, like obviously you guys have got to have them for gigs, you've got to be able to integrate with different crowds of people, like at the drop of a hat. I think in the next 10 years, social skills and social intelligence will be worth their weight in gold because we're losing it.
Massive, man. Some of the students I'm teaching now, like they so like shy, timid.
It's mental, isn't it?
Can't lift a fucking handbrake. Can't take a handbrake off some of them.
What? Because they're afraid?
No, they just weak.
Shut up.
Yeah.
There's there was a kid who came in the gym years ago. I'll never forget it. Right, I'd only found him because somebody else had showed me. And he'd come in like 5 minutes later, but he had like a camera filming himself walking down the street, 10,000 followers. Came into the gym, he was like, me, wouldn't look me in the eyes. I was like, I'm up your mate. I was like, Kenny, you're going to look me in the eyes if you want his guest pass. And it was a struggle. And I'm thinking, you just filmed yourself for the best part of 5,000 people or whatever you had, like 10,000 people.
It's weird, isn't it?
But you can't like, and I am a social terrorist. Like I will make you look me in the eyes, like
Is it?
I will force it out to you. And I think because
it needs to be Rob,
because old heads taught me you gotta learn to sink or swim. Like when I worked in a pub, like you learn to deal with these people, and if you face stuff,
pubs are good.
What's the worst that's gonna happen?
Yeah.
Like I suppose you guys probably learned different going on stage and stuff or dealing with different crowds.
I worked at a bar. I was a bottle boy in Abraham Hotel for fucking
quality.
ages.
Is it?
Started right to the bottom like I did. Picking fag butts and booze up like.
Yeah, fucking washing glasses and that.
Pub jobs are great, isn't they? Do you mean?
Yeah.
Do you know?
But kids don't do it now, do they? 'Cause you've got to have a national insurance number to work now. Whereas it used to be like cash in hand. When £3.33 an hour, like
20 quid a shift.
Yeah.
Like.
I should clock in and out like a little clock thing. I just feel really grown up.
It definitely weren't a real clocking card.
Little Mickey Mouse one, like
back of a Marlboro packet.
I think you know, like having lots of different jobs and experiences, it does shape you. Like, I mean, if you've just like left school, gone to one place. Like it's all you fucking know. Do you mean it's like it definitely is? You say about like the social side of things. It's like, for example, now I worked in HSBC before I was a driving instructor. If I didn't work there, I wouldn't be able to be phoning random people and saying, "Oh, hi, it's Sean. Met you on Facebook."
I'm a twat in the phone mind.
I
gotta go through it. I go through the conversation in my mind and all the possible outcomes.
Is it?
Do you overthinking?
Do you write the questions to kind of?
I don't write. I just say out loud. I'll do it out loud. Like.
Is it?
Yeah.
Tina would probably
walking around the house and it's going,
Yeah.
My other half would describe me as a social hand grenade, like just go in and say what you want, and know if it comes off, it comes off. Like,
yeah, it's better to be like
my
that.
own boss used to call me catchphrase because I say what I see.
Yeah.
I think, like, obviously I rein that in a bit more now, but when you're younger and you've been in a pub for years, you get away with murder, don't you?
Yeah.
You say what you want, but I think the social stuff, like you're saying in HSBC,
Aye.
like you were doing with gigs now, you can't teach her.
Yeah,
It comes.
100%.
And I think a lot of jobs need that. And if you really struggle with social skills, like I remember my ex's friend in uni, her other half was doing a police course because they just brought all the policing degrees out when I was in uni. And he wasn't working, never worked, but he's doing a policing degree. And I was like, why don't you sign up the specials, get some time on the ground with the specials, learn a bit more, you get that understanding of the job. I got really focused on my degree, and I'm thinking, you can't look me in the eyes when I'm dealing with you. What are you going to do when there's a brown nerd trying to get past you? Like not that I'm a big presence, but like I think that I'm okay at dealing with people and talking.
Yeah.
And whereas if you haven't had that role and then you get thrown in the deep end to like the police, you couldn't pay me enough to be a copper.
No, I wouldn't.
I wouldn't fancy it, man. It's like, it's too dangerous, isn't it?
Yeah, not even that, but imagine dealing with some of the people you know.
Yeah.
Like some of the editors we know between us, let alone like the proper scumbags that we've all come back. Or like people come on us, like police have to deal with all sorts of crap.
Yeah.
And I think that social, like I think we were saying, that social skill is dying away slowly.
It's all to do with technology.
100%.
Do you mean it's like because it's all text now, and that like some of my students, like one of them was saying not so long ago that her friend stopped speaking to a boy. Right, she ghosted him. That's the word now.
Ghosted
him because he'd read her snap, and she hadn't replied, and he didn't reply in 4 hours, so she ghosted him. And I just sat and I was like, "That's mad, man." And I said, like, no, like. Not that long ago, you had to send pigeons and I like, or you send a letter and you have to wait a week.
Pigeon's a bit slow and blanking him, like.
But like it's because we got everything so instant now, isn't it? It's like,
but then you say you want it all instant, right? I know a lot of people who will text instead of phone because they can't think on their feet of a response.
Right.
So if somebody goes, what do you want to do about that? And say so, and they're like, and then phone down. Like they can't think in that order. Whereas I do think, like you were saying, working in a bar, you have to be.
Yeah.
And if you say something wrong, what's the worst that's going to happen? You're going to look at it and you're going to get rinsed. Like
my normal state is just saying whatever the fuck comes to mind. I got to read it in sometimes. Were you in the gym on a Saturday as a kid? Left a £10 note in the toilet.
Right.
It was an innocent thing. A kid, like, he was about 14, I think. 14.
What did you say to him?
Well, he brought out the circle of us to chat in. He said, who's this, the toilet? Gave to the kid. I said something about cocaine. Yeah. I know exactly what I said. Running being a cokehead or whatever. And Batch just fucking... No one laughed. It's a kid, like... Okay, this isn't my audience.
Who's scruffy cokehead?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Kids like 7. It's... I just don't know, like, I suppose the whole social thing, how do you teach it if they don't have crap jobs like we had? Like you were saying, you've got to experience different jobs.
Yeah.
Whereas people now, they tend to either go straight into a job out of school or they go to uni and then straight into a job after that.
Yeah.
Well, often
there's that gap now, where people... Do they work? Don't they work? What do they do?
Well, everybody wants to be an influencer as well. Yeah. It's like they don't... Like,
that's not social skills, like.
Yeah. It's like, do you know, like when I was in Cyprus the other week, right? Fucking this killed me. I there was a lot of girls on the front end of this boat that we were on. We were going on like a turtle trip. And they were all just fucking posing and all this shit. It was nice to watch, like. And then, like, we jumped in the sea to go, like, put snorkel on. I looked like a fucking mong. Do you mean? Because I had a snorkel on. Do you mean? Look stunning. And, do you mean, like,
hair washed
like
back.
and then, like, one of those girls, like, she just stepped on the steps of the boat, put her foot in, posed,
and then got back in.
Yeah. I said, fuck, man, get a life.
Well,
get wet, like.
This is a good summary of what I think has happened in the last 10 or 15 years. So, 2012 went to Zante on a boys' holiday. I would have been 24. It was when I first had the call to the gym, actually.
Aye.
They rang me when I was away and I was in hell of a mess. But, like, you went away then to be the dickhead you'd always wanted to be. Because nobody was going to record. There's no camera phones. That's what you always wanted to be. Like, you're a mess.
Yeah.
2015, I went away with the boys. And it was a stag do. 2015? Yeah, it was a stag do. We had Speedo Sunday on a Sunday, right? And the Mallorca Rocks pool party. And I walked downstairs and there was there was loads of girls all just like laying on lounges having photos and blokes all like, posing on photos. I was thinking, that's changed in 2 years. That's a bit strange. Went back in 2019 to Magluf for another stag do.
Right.
And where there was like a corner and there was like a pool sloping round into this corner, when we'd gone back, this is how much society has changed. They'd slabbed over the pool. Pool was gone in that corner.
What?
Tarpaulin over the top,
Yeah.
and a gym better than Vitality underneath it, because now they're all about training and looking good for the night out.
Is it?
Like the Instagram generation, that's my 10-year timeline of like what I saw change. Because I remember like, and even generations before us, they'd be like gurning for like 3 full days.
Whereas you go to get wrecked.
Yeah, you got to get wrecked. But then it slowly became, well, it's a bit more posier this year, because we were like, there was like 20 of us in the pool just dicking about soaking. Everybody else outside the pool. Like, it's a pool party. Yeah. You've all missed the point of the pool party. Whereas, the 5 years later again, half the pool was gone. It had, like, a massive gym there. And, like, I mean, some of this, like, I sound like a proper fitness gimp now. But, like, they had bits of kit there. So I was like, that's really high end. Like, they haven't just gone for, like, Argos plastic weights with cement in them. York. Like, this is proper kit. And it was all set up for them, because now it's all about looking good for Instagram.
Yeah.
Not just being the asshole you've always wanted to be.
But it's not even just the people at the hotel, it's the hotel looking good.
Yeah, the hotel knows.
Do you mean? So they take a photo of the gym and then people will go there for that? And
it's all changed. Like, Magluf, like, I ain't got the headspace to do a session.
No, I know.
I'm crying into my towel from the night before. Like,
yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah, I think like that's the whole. But we are like boys, we are getting like old men now.
Yeah, no, I felt like I say, I felt old when we went.
What are you, 30?
37 now.
Yeah, you're older than me now. I'm 36. What are you?
25. 34.
Yeah, you're not far behind us. Exactly, you know what I mean? It's like we're the wrong side of 30 now.
Yeah.
And the stuff you hear now, like I heard of a girl I trained, had a friend who, when they went to Portugal, put 21 grams of ketamine in her fanny to get it on the plane.
And it worked.
Yeah.
Is it?
But like, I don't think they know that's like jail time.
Yeah.
Like, that isn't a slap on the wrist for personal.
No.
That's like, what?
That's the one of my students said that is that's coke now.
Yeah, ketamine.
Ket is the new coke. Like, that's what everybody takes. Not the youngsters. And,
you just sit mong out like.
You would have been the golden era of Meow. You would have, wouldn't you? Like, I was after that. I was like, that was after us, wasn't it?
I've noticed. No, I know about Meow.
The quality of Meow has got worse.
Like, there's a perfume everyone wears. Have you noticed there's a perfume all girls wear? It smells like Meow.
Yeah, man. It's like a coconutty kind of weirdy.
I don't know what the fuck it is. It's just,
I never bothered doing that, but somebody said the Meow smells like cat piss.
It does a bit. It's this perfume. If I find out what the perfume is, I'll say in the podcast.
I'm going to sniff a load of it.
Any girl, it's really common. Like in the last year, I've noticed like everyone fucking stinks of Meow.
Do you get PTSD from toe bins?
Yeah. You need to shave your nose hairs. Like, there's still some remnants.
And where's like 2 for 1 gone and £10 all in? Remember them days?
Yeah, in the bank, like. But I played up in Brecon a couple of weeks back, and just fucking playing away. Like, I was like, it's fucking buzzing to Meowing, yeah. Do you mean? And this guy was there, he's like that. He was fucking, not like the sweaty, kind of pale, pasty, yeah. And I said to the boy, I said, fucking hell, he's on Meow, like, do you mean? And like someone said, I must have only now made his way up Brecon, like, do you mean? 10 years later, like. But it was wild shit, like.
I never dabbled with that. Because, like, what sort of gigs do you do now? Are you into the wedding thing as well? Yeah. Do you miss your time on the circuit, like, working up?
It was more fun. Definitely more fun. Like, more real than it is. Like,
yeah.
You know
is that what you would call, like, actual gigging?
Yeah, in a sense.
Is your wedding, like, a rehearsed set?
Yeah, the bands are, innit?
Yeah.
You got backing tracks, which you've got like fucking brass, not like, well, yeah.
Nice, man.
You're doing your own work. We're supposed to do research to do.
Yeah. It's smart. It's like, what I find is like, it's, you know exactly how your performance is going to go. And it's just like you're there because you've been paid.
Is that boring for you?
For me, yeah. I've actually...
Yeah, that's why I don't do that anymore.
I fall out of love with weddings.
Yeah.
I gotta be honest.
I rewrite songs for people, so if they want, I don't know, fucking Queens of the Stone Age as she walks down the aisle, or fucking Rammstein or whatever, I'll rewrite it to make it work. I've done those before.
That's class.
Brilliant, I know. Yeah. I've done a gaming one, so like Zelda fucking theme as someone walks down the aisle. interest in stuff. Like I like doing that.
Yeah.
But like, there's, I don't know, it's a dead end when you get to the position in the band, I think, because there's no higher rung than there.
Is that like the most money, is it?
Yeah, well,
unless you're doing like session work, I suppose, isn't it?
Yeah, and unless you're managing a band, do you know what I mean? That's the next thing up. You make your own agency.
Because you probably do what I do. I try to look for the positives in everything I do. So like, let's use me as an example. Fat loss is kind of my bread and butter with clients, and fat loss on paper is tedious.
Right.
But I love the different problem each client presents.
Right.
Because nobody interacts with their social and all their food cues and everything else the same way. So I find those little like those problem solving parts, like why does this person fall off you? What could cause that? How can I help counteract it? And although the main goal itself is quite a simple goal.
Yeah.
The individual's always different. So I suppose you get that with like the Zelda themes and stuff.
Yeah, it's that, like problem solving and teaching. I get the same thing from that. You know, generally kind of coaching. It's the same thing. People have problems getting over a certain thing. You got to deal with it. That's what I like about it. But I like when we run a program, like you did a program for me, it was the first time you did kind of change the way that I thought about all food. I didn't think of food the same way after I went through the steps that you got.
In a good way, or?
It was really good. Yeah. I'll take even still.
I was I'm damaged your eating with food.
No. Even still now, like it's like in my head, I got like a currency that I can spend every day on whatever I need, and I'm not going to spend it on fucking chips. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just find it's like one of the things. Like, don't get me wrong, tracking can be a little bit anal and it can be a little bit consuming, but I find people think that it's unhealthy, but then they don't think that going out for 5 pints and 3 bags is unhealthy.
Yeah.
And like I try to use it as an analogy, but I shouldn't really. I think you should treat your food the same you treat your finances, but I know a lot of people can't manage their finances either. Like I just think like that's how I try to start it off with people and then build a relationship and learn that you can have anything you want within reason.
Yeah,
as long as you're not an asshole.
Yeah, it's really good because like you gave me a thing like this week, do this and then do this, and it was all like little challenges to make me track whatever. Yeah, it's good.
Like I like to try. My aim is, it sounds alien, my aim is to get people to a point where they no longer need me.
Yeah, that's
I want them to be self-sufficient, because I think that's from what the research points to. You need to keep weight off for 5 years for it to stay off indefinitely. You've then reformed habits to the point of it's now your only way of thinking, so to speak.
Yeah.
And I want people to be able to go and do that on their own, because A, it's cheaper for them.
Yeah,
but B, it's more of a challenge for me is to get people to change their whole perspective. I think we've got a really bad diet culture of like good and bad food. Well, nothing's really good and bad, but you've got nutrient densities and poor quality food, granted. But if you really like a fucking Snickers, have one.
Yeah.
I say to people, like,
work it in, innit?
Like
work
for me now today, I've had, as an example, I wanted to make my new steak and peppercorn sauce recipe tonight, and I knew it was going to be 1,100 calories. So I've had to save during the day. But little things like pulling back and not having bagels with my breakfast this morning, and not having milk with my shake, and having something lighter.
Yorkshire puddings.
Or Yorkshire puddings for 120 cal. My autism tells me.
Oh, is it?
I can now afford to have that larger meal in the night, and that's what I enjoy. I like. I've liked getting into cooking a bit more and trying to cook things for myself, or like better, more complicated meals.
Yeah.
But you can do that with anything. Like one of my clients years ago, an older girl, she was quality, she lost loads of weight and she was only quite small to start.
Right.
But she would count her midget gems out in the night because she loved a midget gem. We've all got something we look for, and I find without going into it too much of the gimpy research, you've got like inclusive versus exclusive dieting. I think Lyle McDonald kind of coined the terms where exclusive dieting is if I give you a list of foods and that's what you're only allowed to eat, the first thing you want is the things that aren't on that list. Whereas if you get to a point where you can have the foods you really enjoy and all the types of food you really like within reason, you'll stick to something for longer, and adherence and sticking to something for the long term is what really brings about the results. But getting people are very on and off. I don't know if you guys get this with kind of coaching and stuff like, but people either want all in or nothing. And if you can stop people from having Domino's, Ben and Jerry's and cookies and just get them to have the Domino's, the damage limitation is much less. And trying to factor in that I don't need to eat it all if it's there. I can have some. And that's quite hard. Like, I think that is quite hard in life. People, I think, find that with most things though.
I'm a fucker for like, do you know, like if I'm like I'll play another wedding now, if there's a nice fucking spread on, right?
Buffet, I was going to say.
Like I'm like nowhere. Do you mean with his arc? Like I gotta have two of everything. Like, do you mean? I
I'm
got
the same.
Two tuna, 2 egg. Do you mean?
Yeah, but you can make
chicken.
wise choices for that. So if you just want a good feed, you could go like simple things. Say if you are on a fat loss goal, just go for the protein sources, and then maybe have less of the dessert or whatever you fancy.
Fill up on meat.
Fill up on meat. It's as simple as that really for a lot of people.
Man.
But we tend to we go for those hyper-palatable foods. So another book if you want to read one, this written by a researcher, but it's probably not greatly, always going to stick to it. But The Hungry Brain by Stephen Gurney, and he talks about we live in a society now where hyper-palatable food is so easily accessible. So by hyper-palatable, he means high fat, high sugar combined. So stuff like ice creams, really high-density foods that in nature, say we were 1,000 years ago, in nature, if we came across honey, we'd eat the fucking lot. Because you don't know when you're going to see it again. You have that big rest and digest then, whereas we now don't hunt for our own food. Tesco's for me and you is 100 yards our way. And you could eat massive amounts of these hypercaloric foods that don't fill you up and then gain weight, and then we live in an obesogenic environment. Then it's kind of interesting read.
Did they do an experiment before where you get like a big bowl of cream and a big bowl of sugar? You can eat the sugar to a point where you feel sick. You can eat the cream to the point where you feel sick, but when you combine them, you just keep fucking eating.
Oh, I don't know, but I wouldn't be surprised, man. They say that they obviously try and villainize something. So they always say, it's either sugar or it's fat. There's been this argument for years. But what the real truth is, it's normally a combination of the two because it's so hyper-palatable, like you're saying. So like ice cream, for instance. We could all eat ice cream till cows come home, can we? When you think of the calorie density per 100 gram versus... Let's use a boring example, like broccoli. You're only eating so much broccoli before your fucking ass falls out. Or before thing kicks in. I think society, like we were talking about the social thing, being hooked on gratification. I think the same happens with food for a lot of people. We're hooked on that, not feeding your emotions maybe so much, but that instant hit of really, really good quality food or really high quality calorie food.
It's taken a while to fucking reprogram my brain. I don't eat much chocolate anymore. Chocolate was my main thing.
Is that your thing, is it?
Yeah, but it's not anymore though. I don't eat much chocolate anymore. I'll have once a week. I'll have something.
What do you go for?
Is it Lidl? That one or Aldi? I'm getting confused.
Aldi don't know it.
Yeah, so like own brand dark chocolate.
Not even classy, like it's not even classy.
No, just fucking cheap shit. Like the little squares, but 5 of them.
Yeah.
Most people have got some form of trigger food. Like I'm a fucker for crisps or like Domino's, but I don't even really like Domino's. But I just find once I start, I can't put it down.
Yeah.
What do you go for?
I'm like you with crisps and biscuits. Do you know, like if I have a cup of tea, fucking the pack's gone.
I like a bourbon or two, but I want to eat loads. Whereas my old man's a guy. If he opens like a digestives, they're gone.
Yeah, I think that's what my childhood like. I don't know, when it was like, I don't know, like I'd watch TV, like, and I'd have biscuits and tea, and it's like that's my like emotional eating in a sense.
It's linked somehow, innit? And then we've got to find out what our root causes are.
I feel like with biscuits and tea and stuff, you're just passing the time. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not about how many you're eating; it's how long you're gonna spend drinking this tea.
I don't know what I've got it from. My father looks at food as quite like just fuel. My mother not so much. But I've always been like a rapid eater to get it in, and I don't think about it. So like when I diet, I'm like a couple of kilos down now. I don't struggle because I can quite easily go a couple of hours. But I really like food, but I can switch it off.
Yeah.
And like I remember being in school, my father said the other day, he said, "You were like a scruffy kid. You used to eat like a whole pack of rich tea biscuits before I'd go to school in the morning." And like you were saying, take you time. I used to take 8 at a time because I had like a Sports Direct mug, which is like a well.
Yeah.
Put them in. And then like my mother would say like, we'd come home and you'd have eaten the entire middle of a loaf of bread. Like why? Why have I left the crusts? What was the point? But like I left school at like 9 stone, so I must have just done huge feeds, and then not eaten for the rest of the day.
Aye.
I must have gone, I'll just fill up on this entire loaf of bread,
and
then leave it to waste.
Didn't even go to Ferraris for a buttered baguette.
Mate, the worst thing was, right, my auntie used to own Ferraris. Alex still owns it now, so I'd go in and be like, buttered baguette, and it was like 50 pence.
Class, like.
No, I look back and I think you're giving kids like 1,500 calories for breakfast for 50 pence. And we wonder why all the kids are fat now, like.
So good, though.
So good. Square
so
pizzas.
Good. Yeah,
what else did we have in school?
Powdery pizzas.
Yeah, always be on your black jumper.
I used to eat them.
And on your black trousers.
Yeah.
Do you remember, right? My mother used to give me an extra £1 a day so I could get a coffee from the vending machine in the hall where the teacher sing.
Aye.
I was off my tits on caffeine from the age of 12. Like,
I remember soup. Mouse used to have soup all the time.
Is it?
Yeah. Sticks in my brain.
No, I always remember, right? Fucking. No, those vending machines, right? I seen there was a boy who was a year older than me in school the night before, and you reckon I pushed him in the queue, like, and I was like, and I just went, shut up, like, do you mean? And I thought, I shouldn't have said that to him. Do you mean? He was one of the headers, like, do you mean?
Yeah.
And then he was like, I'll see you after school and all that.
Jane Sweet Buns.
Yeah. And that night then, Valindra boy, and like, me and the boys used to go like Tesco garage to get sweets and shit, like, and then he rocks up in his push bike, like, and he punched me, like, and I literally laughed. And he had all this fear that I was going to see him and all this. I mean, then he appeared in front of me, punched me in the face, and it felt like a fucking child.
Was he done and dusted, I know?
It was done and dusted, yeah. And then I seen him years later in Spoons when we were both like drinking and pissed or whatever. And he apologised and he said, sorry. Like he said, like when I was younger, he said I used to try and act hard because of my brothers and the people like I used to hang around with, like.
I love that about blokes, though. No, if that was a girl, they'd still eat each other now.
Oh, yeah.
It's wild, isn't it?
It is.
Like, the other half, she don't bitch much, but like if she does about one of the girls that they haven't got on, I'm like, what happened? What?
Yeah.
I was like, when you just tell her stop being a dick. Oh,
yeah.
No.
That's all it takes, like.
That's all it takes, eh? No one of us fell out to be like, we'll have an argument about it, and it'll be sorted. Or we'll have a scrap in the lane. Yeah. And it's job done, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's a weird one.
Different worlds, like, you know?
Yeah, it is completely different.
Sluts.
And that's the hot way to close the podcast.
Class.
So with your journey into music, did you both know you were always going to get into music?
I think so. Like, because I started like playing in a band when I was like 14. Do you mean? Because like my brother was playing guitar, and then that kind of like inspired me a little bit. And then,
you both in Windsor Road, like.
Say again?
Were you in Windsor Road?
Oh yeah, I was in Windsor Road. I used to fucking love Windsor, like. But I always wanted to wait for a job. Do you mean? But like when I was younger, it was more like to be a fucking rock star. Do you mean? But now it's more like I'd rather just
make a living
and fucking play Glastonbury once. And
is that like what? Did you
happy.
kind of do the same thing? Thought, Joe, I can make it big here, or did you just enjoy it that much that it was a call in?
Session work I was getting into. I think in my head I was going to be a session guitarist.
What's a session guitar? Sorry.
So you go to you're paid to go to studio to record the guitar for a song that's released, that's been written by someone else. Right. And you could do that like for loads of different songs and stuff. But it was either London, LA, or I think New York or Nashville. Those are the big places to go. And then like I tried a few different jobs and shit as a fallback type thing. I wasn't like all in on music. But then so like I started teaching, and I thought to myself, I'm not going to go in and move in around the fucking world to try and be a session guitarist if it's not going to work. So I started teaching first, and there's a feeling, I don't know whether you've got the same thing. There's a feeling you get when something clicks with someone you're trying to show them.
Yeah.
And it's like I didn't have that like from anything else that I did with from before that. So it was like that's it. I'm gonna keep doing it. I'm stopped teaching since then. Basically,
it sounds cheesy, but like, I love the reward you get of helping somebody understand or achieve something they didn't think they could do.
Yeah. And when you think about it, all three of us do that.
Coaching.
Yeah. It's all,
mean,
like coaching's massive, and you can see coaching everywhere. It's strange, and like, I never would have seen coaching as a job if you'd asked me 15 years ago before I started all this. I would have thought, Joe, I'll do this sports degree and I'll probably end up in Admiral or something, or I don't know where I'd end up. Like just like a normal job most people would do. We could still do well, but I just didn't think coaching would be an option.
Yeah.
And now you do notice how much coaching goes on around you without it being called coaching. Like you said, driving instructor is coaching. Like I was fucking terrible driving. I don't know, my instructor got me to pass on first time as well. 13 minor crew I was.
Is it?
Barely passed. I think he paid him. I won't lie. I think he paid him.
Yeah, but I take comparison, like the way that I teach and stuff with jiu-jitsu as well. That's why I learn the way that I'm learning it. And like I just like learning shit anyway. So everything that I learn, I don't know. It's just putting information from your head in someone else's head, isn't it? And just inspiring
it's finding
them.
that translatory skill, in it.
Yeah.
Like I've got motivational interviewing to read at some point by Rolnick, and it's all about behaviour changing, getting people to trying to understand why people want to achieve something and how to get them there.
Yeah.
And I need to read that because I think it'll improve my coaching. But like you just look and think, this could be a hard read.
Yeah, I know. I got a couple of guys.
Have you got any good coaching books you'd recommend? Anything you read that thought changed the way you teach?
No, all mine are like business stuff. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, really?
So like, like marketing mainly. I can't wrap my fucking head around it as my head in.
Marketing seems humongous.
Yeah, I know.
Or is it just me?
I'm just not very good at it. Like, I just don't get it. I don't know. I'll get
Do
it
you
one
market
day.
much?
No, not really. Like, but like with me is once I've got my like 15 students, I'm happy then. Do you mean? And I'll just keep them until a couple of them pass, and then I'll put a video out again, and just to get some more.
Yeah,
in.
yeah.
Do you mean? That's the way
you
I
probably
do
do
it.
similar to what I do. When I get a before and after, I put it up and then I like stockpile them, and I've got a few to go out, and then you just fill in like the marketing. I find is really hard, and like I read a book by Jonathan Goodman called Viral Nomics, and he's like an online coach, and he kind of talks about with online, you've got to build this trust, like you probably did with lockdown when you had that course. You've got to buy in. People got to trust you. They got to like what you sell. They got to want to understand you.
Yeah.
But if Dave tells his mate, I went with Percy, he's elephant driving instructor, you don't do nothing. It's just so
exactly
like and he kind of says, like, one of the big things he said is word of mouth. If you could bottle it, you'd be a billionaire. He's like, you cannot put a price on it. And the amount of people I've come to me and I'm like, oh, we're going to come to you because so-and-so said you were good.
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
yeah.
No, didn't see me on Instagram, didn't see nothing.
That's
it's
it,
like, I've just heard like off so-and-so and I trust their opinion. And it's,
yeah.
like, I suppose a lot of the students you get come via that, do they? Or
Yeah.
like the one-to-one stuff, I would have thought.
It's all word of mouth though, yeah.
How's the online stuff going?
Dead.
Is it hard, is it?
Yeah. Well, I sell individual courses. Like I sell like one of those a month, do you know what I mean? But it's starting to cost me money now, so I need to change things up. I need to...
What, to keep the website and stuff
running?
Yeah,
it costs me to keep the platform there and to host all the courses.
Right, to host all the video stuff and content, is it?
Yeah, but it's like I got 15 different courses and different things. Like, and not all of them have been fucking used or bought or whatever. So I need to fucking streamline it, I think. I don't know, that's an ongoing thing.
Like the online, I think from what I've seen with some of the guys I know that do online, you've got to be constant with the marketing.
Yeah, that's not me. I find it hard. Like,
I got a lad, Cuba, who's an online coach, really nice lad. He's doing really, really well. He's really screwed on. And he says to me, you could do some more online. You could make like loads and loads more money. And I'm like, I didn't get into this to make videos.
Yeah.
Like, I get it. And like, online coaching is for some people and he loves it. And his content's awesome. His videos are really good. I'm just not that good at editing. I haven't got the patience for it. And it seems to be like you can build a massive audience and you can upscale online and make a lot more money.
Yeah.
But then, I don't know about you, Per, but the older I'm getting, the more I'm becoming content with where I am.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm happy. I don't need to push anymore. I can do the things I want to do.
Yeah.
Is there a next step for your business? Is it like, I don't know what the next step
I spoke to Bacon a bit about this, like, because obviously he's kind of further along the chain than I am with that kind of stuff. And I think the next step would have to be either online, so I can scale up that way, or employ another coach. I just don't trust anyone enough. I don't know how I would compartmentalize and pass on what I do to other people. It's really hard to like, because you've built a reputation over so long. I feel like it hangs in the balance. That can change at any time. Yeah. And I don't know. But at the minute, it sounds mental. I don't want it to go any further. I'm happy where I am.
Yeah.
I didn't think I'd get you is probably the best way to put it. I didn't think I could make money coaching people. And I can still go on the holidays I want to go on. I can still do the stuff I want to do.
Yeah.
Do I need any more? Like, I don't know, where do you draw the line? I don't know if you guys get that. Like,
100%, yeah.
I think some people chase more, but...
And they end up losing other aspects.
Or don't know why they are chasing it. Like, I probably do like 45 hours a week now, 50 hours a week. But when I was in the gym, I was doing like 70, 75 hours. And I was doing really well financially. But it's too knackered to do anything.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
What's the point?
Yeah.
Like,
that's a long week.
Yeah, and like I got a friend who does really, really well. He's got his own blind company. He does really, really well. But he works like 7 days a week. Does like 8 hours a day every day. And he's on mega money. He's really successful.
Yeah.
But he looks like death warmed up when I see him. Like,
yeah, I know. Some of the boys who got trades and stuff, like they work hard. They don't much more money than me, but like I value the time more.
Yeah, it then depends what you want from it.
Yeah.
Massive.
Are you kind of the same train of thought, or?
Yeah. Like I'd rather, do you know, like if a student cancels, I'm like,
I shouldn't say it out loud.
Yeah.
Like, not that I hate it, or like I tend to just move the session, so I lose the money or whatever. But an hour to yourself is lovely sometimes.
It's nice, man. Do you know when I first started teaching, right? I was like always in Swansea a lot, and I was in Swansea. Someone cancelled, and I parked in the NCP car park by Escape.
Yeah.
I spent up there for 2 hours, paid for 2 hours parking, and fucking slept. Like, do you mean?
Sounds amazing.
In my car.
Loving that. I'd have a book under the seat though.
Yeah, I do. I take it with me as well.
What are you reading in the minute?
At the moment, I'm still on bloody the Shrinking Man. But
Didn't you start that about 6 months ago?
Yeah, honestly, mate, my brain is wild.
I think I'm on the episode or so after that. I'm about 5 in, am I?
Yeah.
All right, yeah.
My phone's over there. I'm on 5 in. I've been enjoying them. The conversation's been good back and forth.
Yeah.
I find it's not as good unless I'm watching you.
Yeah, okay. I prefer. So
when I've walked and I listen to it with, say, the dog, I'm enjoying it. I laugh along with you. I'm like, oh, this is good. This is. But when I get to see you giving each other the eye, and like chuckling a bit, like I'm like, oh yeah, this is class. I get it more because I know you both. I'm like, this is brilliant. I've really enjoyed it. Like I got into it when I'm on my little walking treadmill and Tina's watching some shite on TV. Yeah, I put it on, thinking I'm strolling along, chuckling to myself.
It's nice to have you on. Nice to have you on as a guest. Like,
thanks for asking me. Shit. I weren't sure what to expect. Like,
well, you're like the fucking Chat GPT of fitness in a group. Like anyone mentions, my shoulders hurting. Fucking
Like
Dan's
I'm lucky.
Writing a message.
I'm lucky, like you guys. I think I just enjoy what I do.
Yeah.
And I don't think you can put a price on that, can you?
No, you can't.
That's the cheesiest thing I've ever said, and probably will say. But like,
we gotta cut that.
Yeah, cut that. Dan's cunt. But like, I feel really privileged that I found something I really enjoy. And like when people ask questions, I'm like that eager dog and nobody really likes, but I like to answer it quick. I don't know if you get the same with like teaching or you get it with driving or something. Like if somebody's asking, I want to give them the best answer I can because I feel like it's something that I like to think I know a little bit about. But then I'm also quite aware of, are you both familiar with the Dunning-Kruger?
Yeah.
What's that again?
No, the Dunning-Kruger is like about, you'll see it in your industries respectively. It happens everywhere. You get people that are brand new to the industry or have done a little bit of what you say you were doing, and they automatically within a couple of weeks think that they know everything there is to know. It's like summing up is a little knowledge is dangerous,
right?
And then like in my industry, the easiest way is like Dr. Stuart Phillips, who's like the goat of protein synthesis and musculoskeletal stuff. He will often say like, oh, I don't know the answer to that question. I'll have to refer you to this person or to this paper. You need to go elsewhere to ask. Whereas Trevor from Stanford Estate, who read Men's Health last week, got the answer to everything.
Right.
And I suppose it's the same with teaching. It's the same with driving instructing. There's like, I just always try to realise that I find the more I read and try and learn, the more I realise the less I know. Does that make sense? Like you think, oh, this is getting a little bit bigger, but I realise that there's this much more to try and learn. I think that's maybe why I enjoy what I do as well, because I find there's always more to learn, and I don't know if I suspect you guys are exactly the same. Like how many years you've been playing guitar for?
2000, so 24 years.
How long have you been teaching for?
This is 2009, so yeah.
So you've done a good, you've done a good few years in the trenches. Do you feel like you still got more to learn? Are you a fucking boss?
People tend to get to the same level. Do you know what I mean? I've never really taught certain things that I want to know more about. Do you know what I mean? I haven't got really good at teaching some of the stuff that I've just learnt.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? Like teaching other people, I feel like that's its own thing.
Have you got any like young Ungwi Malmsteens?
Not at the moment, no. I in the past I've had there's one kid who was like 8, and by the time like he came to me, he did all the grades by the time he was 11.
What, all 8?
Or grade 8. He got to grade 8 when he was 11, yeah.
Wow. Was he like a prodigy?
I think there's something going on with his brain where he just understood everything. I could play him a chord and he would know every note in that chord, no matter what. Even if it was a redissonant one.
That's amazing.
Yeah, no, it was mad. But
that stuff's fascinating to me because that is like the gem, innit?
Yeah.
It's like somebody turning up when he were driving lesson. It's like Schumacher's kid.
Like Rick Beato's kid. Have you seen Rick Beato's kid? Like, there's someone on YouTube, you can look up like Rick Beato's, I can't remember his name is, but he plays like a random chord and this kid just reels off everything. Like every single note in order, and it's the most obscure chord ever. He's a bit like that.
That's a superpower to me, that is.
I don't think he plays anymore, though. I don't think he plays. This was years ago now. And I
sacked it off, like.
I think he you know, like the light that shines brightest,
burns quickest.
Yeah, it's like that.
Now so he's got a heroin problem. He's mate with Macaulay Culkin.
I found the same thing. Like I played to the point where I think it was 7 grades, really quick. When I got grade 8, that was it. That was the goal. There was nothing after that. So my guitar teacher didn't really tell me what's next. Like,
what was next?
You can do like higher like level stuff, like it's equivalent of like university stuff. I forgot what it's called now. Can't remember.
Masters?
Yeah, something like that. It was LLCM. So it was like 4 of them. I was going to go for the third one. It was like I don't want to say doctorate, but you know what I mean.
Progressively climbing, yeah.
And that was like the ultimate kind of qualification that you could get. But I don't know. I just felt like that wasn't making me better. It was like I had to write shit loads about a solo that was from a song, you know.
Was that like music theory then, was it? Is that music
theory was part of it. It was more like artistic, so I had to take a solo and then reimagine it in a different context, kind of thing, to show like my understanding of everything. That's what it was all about more than anything.
So it's like I suppose when I had the option, my father said to me when I finished my degree, he said, I'll either give you money to do your PT or you can do your masters.
Yeah.
And I looked at the masters route and I was like, is this actually going to help me any further, or am I just going to spend a lot of money to feed my own ego? Which I would have thought would have been the same thing as you doing that. You probably wouldn't get that much more coaching out of it, but you'd be able to go, well, I've done this qual, like.
Yeah, well, I was too young to go into the real world of playing guitar, like, and I think that was the same with Reese the kid. He's like 11, like, completed it. Do you know what I mean? It's like he can't do anything with that. He's 11, he can't go to a pub, he can't play in a band. Do you know what I mean? It's difficult to use that to the point where, you know, keeping him challenged, keeping him like, this is the next goal, to the point where he's off into the world doing his music.
Because, like, was he very good when he came to you?
Yeah. He went to a different guitar. I think he tried a few different guitar teachers, trying to find someone who was
good enough.
Yeah, you could kind of absorb from.
Good enough.
and they stuck with me then. But like some guitar teachers are just fucking shit, don't they?
So have you read Bounce?
No.
I'm sorry, I'm just listing books off now because I'm a book gimp. If you get a chance, read Bounce, because you both coach. Talks about the myth of talent.
Right.
And he kind of says, like, he was in his sport in mainly. He's like a table tennis player. But he grew up in a town where the PE teacher was head of GB table tennis. His brother played table tennis for Britain. He had a table tennis table in his house. And he went on to, like, the Olympics to play. But he says, like, although I maybe had some form of gift there, he said,
right,
I had all these other factors around me that allowed me to become better.
Yeah.
And he says they all build on each other. So he said, there's a little bit of luck. So you've got to be in the right place at the right time. But he said my idea of that was he met like a Chinese coach when he was 14.
Yeah.
Sounds ironic, but he met like a Chinese coach when he was 14 who then took him to like the next level. And he was like, that came at the right time for me. But he said, as a kid, I had a good coaching school.
Yeah.
I had a table tennis table at home so I could practice as much as I want. I could practice with my brother who was already playing at a good standard. And he kind of talks about, it's all about work ethic, being in the right place at the right time, and then putting the time in long term.
Yeah, determination.
And there was a study, like some mad Polish guy, I think he was, or Romanian, wrote to a couple of pen pals trying to find a wife.
Remember them?
Strangest version of Tinder I've ever heard of. But he found this girl, they had a child, and his theory was that if he could learn everything he could possibly know about chess, he could teach his daughter in a style that she would enjoy and become the youngest grandmaster on record. He achieved that. But at the meantime, he'd also had a second and a third daughter who then went on to subsequently beat the record each time. And he talks about how his teaching system was whatever worked and his understanding of the subject worked. But also, they had 3 other grandmasters to play with at younger consecutive ages. So although they maybe had no innate talent for chess, his ability to put him in the right environment and coach him in the right way allowed him to succeed. So that kid maybe come into you. If he'd gone to somebody else, he maybe not have achieved, but you maybe might have been that final piece in the puzzle to coach him in a way that he could understand.
Yeah, I enjoyed teaching him.
I fucking bet you did.
Yeah.
Sounds like it was easy.
Yeah, he was good.
So do you ever just riff off with him? Like,
it was years ago. Yeah, it was good. Just give him a call, progress this placement. And you just fucking go. I just waiting to see what he would do. What I mean,
is it?
Yeah, it's really interesting.
Have you had any naturals come like that?
Yeah, I've had a boy who just passed me the other day now. Like, I think he only really had, I'd say about 15 to 20 hours, like, if that.
And he was good to go, like.
Yeah, he passed. Like, he passed the second time because the first time he stopped in a yellow junction box. Like, do you mean you're not supposed to stop in a yellow box?
Yeah.
Silly little thing. Which when he stopped, he was like, fuck. He knew, like, do you mean? But like some people, like, there's this other boy, Jaden, because he was used to ride like scooter. As soon as he jumped in the car, he knew all how to do junctions and read the road and everything, and just drove a car. And I think I gave him about 6 lessons, like.
And then he passed his test. Like.
Yeah.
Class. I at least 18 months worth of lessons. I was useless.
Is it?
I just know, like, I think the problem I had was my mother paid for my first block and I just weren't interested because I used to catch the bus and the train everywhere. I didn't really think I needed a car. And I didn't learn till I was 22. And then you realise when you do learn how much it opens your world.
100%, yeah.
And until you know...
Yeah.
I didn't know any different. I was like, I was getting a bus. Like.
Yeah.
And then you realise you've spent your life surrounded by gremlins on buses. Like.
Yeah, bus gremlins.
Yeah, I've had a couple that just take the stuff. It's mad. Like, especially with tracking, I've found the rule of thumb now is if somebody's mathematic based or like data based, they just take to it like a duck to water. And if they just get the basics in place, and if they got a minimal bit of cooking skill, it comes easy. And then you do get some freaks like Claire, one of the girls I train. She squats 140 deads, like 170 benches, like 70. She's just naturally made for it. Some people are just
I was like a mong. I was.
No, you did all right. You did.
I don't know.
You were quite coordinated as well. Even in your first one, I was like, I don't know how this guy's going to get on because obviously I knew, but you can tell you've got an understanding of how to move.
Yeah,
we just had to load you. A bit like Buckaroo, really.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember going to the first time in the gym. You know, like the first time ever going to the gym on your own. Like I was like a fucking mong, and I didn't in my head add up the weight of the bar.
Mate, you'd be surprised how many people do that. I've made that in part of my forms now. The bar's 20 kilos. I remember one of the girls sent me a message one day and she needed 50, which is a yellow on the bar, like yellow either side on the bar. But she'd put a yellow and a green on either side because she's like, oh yeah, that's about 50. And then hadn't calculated the bar, nearly destroyed her spine on the first rep. Like.
Yeah, I remember fucking like unracking it. It's supposed to be 70. I was fucking benching 90, like first off, like.
Yeah. The first time you go to the gym on your own, like it's so fucking nerve-wracking.
Yeah,
you think everyone's looking at you.
Yeah.
But in reality, they just concentrating on themselves.
Until I built my own place, I didn't realise how much that was a fear for people.
Generally
didn't understand it until I built it. And then I had loads of clients come to me that would never have gone to a gym. And then obviously in time I've progressed them to a gym.
Yeah.
But I find now the biggest thing about a gym is the orientation.
Right.
So they may have a really good grasp like you did, squat, bench, dead, all the main compounds, great. But when they walk into an environment they haven't been in before, although they know what to do, they don't know where it is.
Yeah.
So like a lot of people are like, like they freak out because it's not in the place that it should be.
Yeah, someone's on the machine.
Yeah, it's like a pattern. And like going back to Bounce a little bit, he talks about like chess as a pattern recognition. And he was saying a grandmaster doesn't know that's rook to whatever. He knows patterns of the board. So if you laid out at 100 chess boards, and there's one move to win them all, a grandmaster will see 97 out of 100 straight away. But if you put a piece on that board where it physically can't be, he'll lose like 80% of those matches because the pattern's off.
Yeah, that's mad.
And I think that's something to do with when people walk in, they're used to my gym or they used to go into their gym, and they go somewhere they're not used to and they just go,
voice is like, come on.
But we're also like creatures of habit as well. And I think we're very, even us that we think we're ballsy, like you were probably the ballsiest end of the scale altogether. You go to random events and play at people's wedding.
Yeah.
Do you take that on board anymore?
No, not really. No. I just prepare. Yeah. It is weird.
Do you become numb to it, boys?
A little bit. I think.
Yeah, I suppose it's just being comfortable, I suppose, isn't it? It's
like when I was in the band, when I was in the opposition, a lot of time you'd be completely disconnected from everyone else.
Yeah.
It's like the brides and stuff. They don't care whether you're there or not sometimes. Like it's like you're just playing music, and then they don't even come on to you or any approach you, like whoever the band leader is.
They don't come on to you.
Yeah.
But like
that'd be nice.
What I'm doing now, I'm directly talking to the brides and group. They know me, do you know what I mean? We have like FaceTime things, and they tell me what songs you want. I send them samples. Oh, can you do it a bit like this? So I will. There's a back and forth. I didn't get that when I was with the band because there was an agency in the way, like. So there was no relationship. There was none of that energy back and forth. I didn't want to give my best energy to this party because I don't care about any of them. But like now, it's like I like these people. I know their backstory. You know, these two gay people from Hong Kong. One of them hasn't told his family about it. No, one of them has. It's like,
well, I don't know he's gay. Like,
yeah. He's made a speech about it, and he said, "My parents are really old-fashioned, like broken English kind of thing, saying you were my family." Do you know what I mean? Like all this kind of thing. Yeah, and like that's what I like about it. Like that's when I get the reward from that, you know.
Yeah.
Didn't get in the band. It was just wasn't there. Like, it was just there, play music. On to the next one. A lot of the time, he was so popular as well. It was a tick the box thing. We need a band. You look at the most common ones, or word of mouth of venues. Say, oh, these are good. These are playing all the time. Like, just like yeah, tick the box kind of thing. But like, I'm not doing as much now. But they're more meaningful gigs. Like,
so I don't know if Steph will tell you when you get Steph on, but like he was kind of saying he would rather play to like 3,000 people than 2.
Yeah.
He was like in a room of like 2 or nobody is terrifying.
It is
he said
awkward.
when you step out on, I think he's done some quite big ones from what he was telling me, and some random festivals and stuff. And he said like that's amazing because the atmosphere's there for you.
Yeah.
Like I would shit my drawers if I walked out to 2,000 people.
Like, it's like it's not. It doesn't feel like it's just you. Do you know what I mean? Like I played to like a not that much, but like bigger audiences that want you there to play, and it's like it doesn't feel like it's just you there playing. It's like you're there with them. Do you know what I mean?
Communal thing.
Yeah. It's like it is an energy.
I bet the
back and
energy's
forth.
amazing in a good gig though, is it?
Yeah, definitely.
Like you played bigger gigs than me. Like the old band that you were in and stuff, the original band. That was a
What was
that
the
was a
original
different
band?
thing.
Kid Keep Dancing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so like we've done some really cool gigs. Like we went to like Disneyland Paris and stuff, and like there was actually people there from Paris come to watch. Like they asked we got there asking for us to fucking sign the CD. Like
That's amazing.
For fucking Belinda,
Did you
man.
feel like you was a big balls?
A little bit, like, do you mean? That was cool.
Was you screaming, "Where's my rider"?
My blue M&Ms.
Yeah.
But that was cool, like, do you mean? But like, I don't know. I actually haven't got a figure in my head of the most we've ever played with, or played to, or anything. Do you mean? But like, it's more of a buzz. Like when we played in playing like Carling Academy in Birmingham and Manchester, it was just like we fucking playing the stage. Like,
Yeah.
Do you feel it's amazing that people have asked you to travel X amount of distance?
Yeah.
Like that's what I think we're talking about. Like, I'm not good at going the other side of the country. Like I know Joe Peter Cullen.
Yeah.
I trained Pete. Like, and,
he plays for me. Like,
Pete's
now
been
and again,
fucking
like,
all sorts of places. Like one New Year's, he messaged me. He's like, "Oh, sorry, Dan, I haven't replied. I'm in Qatar."
Yeah.
Or somewhere around.
yeah.
I was like, "You what?" And he's like, "Yeah, we just playing one night, then back home tomorrow."
Was that New Year's Eve? Probably,
Yeah,
was
New Year's
it?
Eve thing, and I was
Yeah.
like, "What?"
Yeah, man.
And I was like, that must be like, you must walk around like you got the biggest nuts around, because you're like, I've been paid to go abroad.
Yeah.
Like that jet set in life that I think very few people ever get. Like,
Yeah.
it must be surreal for like these guys like Taylor Swift and all them lot that are like
Yeah.
in a different city every night. Like,
Yeah, there's what's it called? Hired Gun. I think it's on Netflix, about the musicians that just go there for like people like Taylor Swift, like the drummer or the bassist or whatever, and how little they get paid and how little they're appreciated.
oh really?
Yeah,
Like
they
low
fly
paid
in.
mercenaries.
Yeah, there's one.
Mercenaries,
I think it was one drummer, part of the kind of the same group thing. He was in an ABBA tribute in Germany. They flew him back to London to play with John Legend for one song on like a show on TV. I think he got like 150 quid for it, apparently.
Is that?
Like, so, or 200. It wasn't much.
Yeah,
like,
They paid for his flights.
yeah,
and that.
paid for all that, like, but. And then he flew back then to carry on the rest of the tour thing, apparently.
That is cool, isn't it? Like,
Yeah.
I know it's not paid well, but like,
Aye.
imagine being like, oh yeah, it's in Sweden on the weekend and flew up to London for a bit.
And
Like,
I think that Hired Gun is like 9 Inch Nails, I think. I don't know whether they just don't pay the musicians. I think it's just like you need to want to do it. Do you know what I mean? You've been offered to play
Yeah,
with
I
9
I
Inch
think
Nails.
there is a high,
Yeah.
there is a high bar to entry. I think for some of that stuff, you've got to really prove your cream of the crop to kind of get through. Do you, or what?
It's more who you know.
Or
to
did
be
you
honest.
just think they take the piss?
Yeah, I don't know.
Is it a bit of that?
I think it's more who you know. I got asked to I went to a festival. There's like a big tribute festival out like West Wales somewhere. And on the day of going with Felix when he was younger, I had a phone call of someone saying, "Can I fill in for the guitarist for Stevie Wonder tribute band in the same festival I was going to?" Like, I was already on the road going. I said, "No, I can't." He was begging me like, "You needed a guitarist." And I was like, "No, I can't. I got my boy with me." And he said, "Oh, I look after him." And he's like 4 all the time. I'm not fucking leaving him with you. Like, so he's like, fucking, yeah, like, I don't know. If you're the only one there, they'll have you. Like, there's no one else available, obviously.
Yeah.
But because I didn't know one from Adam, it's just rare that you get asked from someone that you don't know to do something like that. It's always someone that you know. Oh, I know someone. Can you fill in for
Having
me
the
or
in,
whatever?
like knowing the
It's
right
nice.
people.
The depth work is nice. Like, I like the depth work because it takes you out of the comfort zone.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I played with Dean O'Keefe.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
played with Dean the other day. I hadn't played with him from years. Like, And he sent me a set list, and there was about 15 songs. Like I don't know, and I was like, at first I was like, fuck. Then I thought, oh, nice.
How long would it take you to learn how many songs?
Probably. Well, I played through them all probably twice, 3 times. Doing. And then
you like Johnny 5? Yeah. Fucking hell.
And it's there then.
Import.
It's like you looking at a Yorkshire pudding and know how much calories in it.
Yeah.
I suppose, yeah. But it's a bit harder learning a song.
But like bass though, it's a lot. It's a lot less technical, I'd say, than a guitar.
I think you'd be very humble.
Yeah, no, I don't know. It's I struggle with structure. Do you know what I mean? Middle eight's coming up, and I'd fucking miss it. Like I forget about the second chorus at the end. That's what I fucking struggle.
But I think we're all guilty of thinking that our role is easy because we're so used to doing it with second nature. Like I suppose me programming and putting calories together, I don't even think about it now. It's quite straightforward. But when you step out to that and look in, it's different. It's just like me looking at your jobs. Me.
Yeah.
They would literally just have to cart me off stage. Like, oh, that boy's on the loose again. Like.
I thought it was cool. Like when I went to see Under Oath on Monday, like me and my mate James went for a pint just in this random pub in Bristol, and the guitarist was just sitting there on his own. Like he was just like he had his earpods and whatever. He was talking on the phone, just having a couple of pints. Like, and then he just wandered off. And I was thinking like he's from fucking Florida. He's just on his own now. He's wandered off on his own. I was thinking, what's he up to?
That is, I always find that weird when you see people like that are like famous or semi-famous in public, and I'm like,
what's
could
he
you
up to?
be here?
Yeah.
This is my world.
This is my world.
I was just thinking like,
you with the peasants? Cool what are you doing here?
Like it just, I wanted to know what he was up to. Like,
So
you followed him for 2 days.
He's in
Where's
the
the furthest you've gone to gig then? Because I always find this fascinating.
Either Florence. Yeah, Florence, Italy.
Is that a wedding?
Yeah, Lake Como I done as well.
Nice.
Oh, yeah, lovely.
Where have you been?
The furthest is Paris so far. Like, so,
nice job, boys.
Yeah.
Perks. Do you think? Excuse me. Do you think that sort of like musician is a single man's game long term? If you wanted to do all the traveling all the time, and like, is it the depth work you said?
I don't know. It's like. It depends how on board your missus is, and I think, and like I suppose like with if you've got kids and stuff.
Yeah, I can imagine it must be much harder with kids. Like
when we were driving back from York, I'd get back about fucking 6 a.m, like or 5 a.m, and then the baby's up. Yeah, like Cornwall, quite a lot, Sussex, London. It's fucking more work than they needed to be.
Yeah,
you're a better man than me. If I was coming back from York, I'd be stopping in Cardiff West and pretending my car had broke down, and like staying in a travel lodge all day.
The camera's run out now.
They died.
It's dead.
Talking. Jesus, it's after 7.
I know. It's fucking.
Between us, we can talk, can we? Fair play.
I know.
I keep going.
Yeah. But do you want to call it there?
I'm happy to call it if you guys are.
I'm
happy to keep going if you want to.
He's dead. Like.
Yeah, he's gone.